Good morning. What is going on, guys?
Morning, guys. How you guys doing today? Today it's an interesting topic regarding an expat and a Filipino, or Filipino, as it were. Um, hey, David. Hey, Rose. Well, hopefully David is okay, because again, for those of you who are not aware, as of right now, it's almost the new year, and David is MIA, and that's what we're going to be talking about.
I'm going to tell you exactly what we're going to be talking about. Let me break this down in Heidi terms. Today, we're going to be talking about I know what I would like to call them. But first off, Rose is a saint for taking care of David. Any Filipino or Filipino wife, I don't know about no hubbies, a Filipino wife that goes above and beyond and does all the things that she does to take care of him is an absolute saint. She takes care of David. She takes care of that house. She helps him with his immigration stuff. She helps him with stuff in the US. She does everything on both sides. And I would do anything to have Rose. As a matter of fact, she goes single. I might be like sending her gifts. So she's a saint for taking care of David. And the reason that we're going to talk about this today is because I have multiple medical conditions and George assists with so many things here in the house. But as far as, needing a caregiver, I would probably have to hire somebody in. Men are good caregivers, don't get me wrong. But in a case that he gets both, where somebody's helping with living in the Philippines and he's getting all that assistance, that's like a double bonus to get all the above from a Filipino. So she's a saint for doing that. But with with me having multiple medical conditions and on disability, I get David's crankiness. I'm cranky all the time. I attack George all the time. We bicker. You guys have seen me get upset. So I get all the crankiness. So I get where he's coming from. But it looks like officially he went back to the US. And this isn't the first time he attempted to go to the VA. And I want to hear from people about the veterans benefits. I know that it's got to be related. The actual medical conditions must be related to what had happened to them as far as being in the military. So some of these other things may not even be related to it that he's starting to have. Also, there's talk of the caregiver benefits. I don't know if she's allowed to have them in the Philippines. I'm not going to pretend that we know this or have all this information. So today's a full topic of conversation. And it's quite interesting how he went back. And we have a clip of some of the things that they said as far as what's going on. And she made an update, but she's done a live since. And there's so many supporters of her coming in to say, hey. But on the side note, I got to throw a little shade. It wouldn't be Heidi if I didn't say this. The guys have been waiting to swoop in on her every since. And they've done it too right there in the live stream. And Rose have argued on air in regards to that. He brought his lady, or they both decided to do YouTube. She came on, and a lot of the guys are hitting on her. They send side emails, and David and her used to get into arguments, or disagreements on air about it. And it's kind of like they do that to everybody. There are guys that have channels that know that they're doing it and they accept the money that comes in. There's others that get upset, like David does. And I was telling George, if people want to throw sticker money at George on air, I was like, I'm going to allow that. But if it's in person, I might get upset too, like maybe Campbell will. But that outweighs like everything, her being a caregiver and somebody that helps that much and cleans the house and all of that. I can't even get George to go down to Walking Street and pay somebody to come down here and clean house. So it's like, a lot of people like, I clean, I help take care of the animals, we do things together. George goes out and gets things and we try to work as a team. But man, I would give anything to have a Rose around the house. It's like somebody that's, that's just where it is. So she's a saint. And we've talked about the Campbells before. They took that trip over to go look on the YouTube thing when they switched the channels. Singapore. What else did they have? And that trip last year. I don't know what the deal was, but there is rumors out there and stuff that she said that he's burnt his bridges. I'll read the note here. Maybe we should play that now.
Yeah, and again, guys, remember there's a YouTube office down here in the Philippines, and it's protected by Blue Suit guys. Really, I believe the service is called Blue Suit, and it's down here in BGC.
Yeah.
No need to fly to Singapore. And again, don't bother going there unless you have an appointment, because they will check if you do. If you don't, they'll turn you around and say,
I don't
keep
know
on
why
walking.
they had made the trip there. They weren't able to be seen anyway. So that was,
Yeah.
let's see. I think this is the letter. Let me read the letter. You can go ahead and put that up there and we can start because I think the letters.
Starts talking.
Okay. So on the Campbell vlog, okay, she said David went to Las Vegas and the VA hospital emergency room on December 24th. He was examined by the doctor and was sent away and told that he needed to make a scheduled appointment. I want to let you know Rose told him that. She says he's stubborn and that he has memory issues. Possibly it could be that he has a form because of the strokes. He was either 5 or 10. Also, again, remind me how many he said because she said it during one of the lives. And that you have to schedule an appointment, and you do. It doesn't matter if you're here. You can walk into a lot of places here, but as far as needing an appointment, it would have been necessary. And if the items are not VA related, that's probably really rough. David was sent away and was not admitted to the hospital. She told him that. I would have took David's wheelchair away from him before he left. If that was you, I'd have took your wheelchair away, and that would have solved a lot of issues. That's call it what it is. But she, she let him go. And so now they haven't heard from him. It says that I have, as of the 29th, which was a few days ago, and she did a live after this. She goes, as of the 29th, I have not heard anything from David, and I assume he's either in a casino, which, by the way, they said the last time he was in a casino, she had to go get him the last time to go bring him back because he was having issues. And that his family and friends do not want to help him because of his bad attitude. Hey, and I get that. Really, I know I got a bad attitude, so I feel for both sides because he's probably mostly cranky from being sick all the time, cooped up, and the whole 9 yards, and he could just be cranky. Because he did not have a scheduled appointment, and because he was considered to have serious critical medical problem, he was not considered. The VA told him to go home and make an appointment later. So, yeah, I mean, they will only, at most hospitals, including the VA, will only stabilize you. So he probably had this problem going on, that problem. And by the time he bought the plane ticket and did all this, wouldn't it have been better to take that 100,000 pesos and do stuff here? He could have got a lot of medical care for 100,000 pesos at an office. If it's not critical where they're hooking him up, I don't get why he wouldn't have used that kind, because right now round trip is not cheap right now. So between the tickets and I think it's averaging 15 to 18 to 2,000 for a round trip ticket, depending on where you're looking. So that right there is close to 100,000 pesos plus the food of being there, any hotel rooms, anything. So he's still out 100,000 pesos. He could have had some decent care here for that. But in saying that, David is so stubborn, she says, and was told before he left the Philippines he needed to call. And she did say that. Finally, to the trolls and critics, I am not asking anyone for money, but simply for your understanding, kindness, prayers, and that God will temper David's stubborn mind to guide him and seek the medical care that he needs. Thank you. And thank you for subscribing to my channel. Now, I will make a statement about that because I can't keep my mouth quiet on that. She did say that several times during her live streams, and I'm going to call it out that other Filipinas have used the same tactics to actually ask for money. I didn't notice she put it inside and pinned it to her thing. So she did say that over and over again during her live stream. I'm not asking for money.
I do
And
have my theories, but I'll save them for later.
Okay, so I just want to let you know that's about the only thing I could actually say at this time. But they've had their ups and downs. I believe he had, and you guys correct me on that, he had a stroke before, not after they're married. So she knew what she was doing when she married him. She knew that she was going to be a caretaker. I think they were living together before they got married. So it just kind of, the whole David Campbell story has been out there since the.
Wow, that's harsh, Sarah.
He's pretty rough. And I'm going to tell you what, there's days George has called me that. I'm going to tell you that there are rough days in all marriages, but George isn't wiping my butt and hosing me down outside in a wheelchair. Because if I had to rely on George,
You
I
do realize that again, those are different levels, right?
well, that means she really cares. But that is
Yeah,
well, but she knew what
well,
she was getting herself into. I mean, I
I
feel
don't
bad for
know
her.
if I care. Okay, I'm not saying anything bad here. I'm just saying the facts that somehow I don't think it would sit very well with a lot of viewers if I put you out there and hose you down. Okay, that's one thing.
Or put
It's
it
it's
all on. They put
it's
a
a
lot of
next
stuff on
level
camera.
if it's on YouTube, correct?
So she does put a lot of
That's
stuff on
next level.
YouTube. And me and George was discussing and we had decided months ago to stop addressing additional trolls and all
That's
the stuff
something I
like
would
she
keep to
did.
myself. Just saying.
And a lot of people had a lot of problems with us talking about Mark Thornton and having an opinion or the last couple topics. And we told you guys in general that if their lives are out there, they're being covered, just like we know other channels cover us. There's several multiples. We only watched one or two, and recently we stopped watching another channel because of their antics. And so the whole point is that we said that we would be covering topics, whether it's considered drama or not, that's dealing with life living here. As a matter of fact, you guys just kicked it up another notch because I'm officially going to do my own channel on my own that's considered part of the Antics family. And I know George is like, it's called Lazy American Expat, to show you guys that people do just live a regular life here and that it is what it is. So if you put your life out there and
Wait. So you're gonna
Lazy American Expat is
do
my
live
channel now.
streams with like
Yes.
funnel cake on one hand and sticks of butter on the other?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna wait for the heart attack and stroke. Oh yeah. I'm gonna stroke George off in the other facts. So yeah. But he won't be on camera. What you talking about? So the whole thing is that the other channel, check it out, guys. It used to be the pet channel, but it's like you'll probably see the pets or me editing or me cooking and or just me chilling. I'm going to be doing the laziest vlogs ever. You guys might even find me in bed. George just punched me in my eye and he stuffed donuts in my mouth and but I'm okay, that type of vlogging. So the whole thing is a lot of these people, including Mark and Jen, put their entire life out there. And a lot of people tried to say we didn't know anything about Mark, so we should have shut our mouth. And I told George, I said, those are the same people that are hating because of the type of channel we have.
Okay, well, just real quick, again, this is not about him. But what I'm saying is a lot of times, technically, if you pay attention, we really didn't really say anything wrong. We're just reading this whatever people said.
Oh, well, I mean, here's the thing.
And
People have asked me how I feel about him. And just like everybody else, they have their right. We left the comments up
It
when people
doesn't
said I
mean
was
if somebody
fat or they didn't
comments
like
and
me.
we
We
read
leave
it,
them.
it doesn't mean if we read it that we agree with it. If that's the case, then a lot of Democrats
At this point, I really don't like
Republicans, and a lot of Republicans are Democrats because most of the stuff that comes out of Republicans are about Democrats and vice versa. What I'm saying is,
you say
it's not
neutral.
it's not what about what people say, it's what their opinion is. There's a difference between
I
them
don't like
reading.
Mark. I mean, at this point, I
No,
will
I
come
get
forward,
that, and
and
everybody
there's
gets that.
reasons, and people
But
say
you
that
didn't
I
say
didn't know him.
anything
I
about the
know,
last few vlogs or
no,
lives. We didn't
but
say anything.
officially, I decided to come forward because people are like, "Oh, you just don't like him." Okay, well, that is up to me because he tried
And
to
you
blind a
have the right
guy.
to that. You
Right.
are the right to have your own opinion.
And then people are, well, you're siding this and that. And I tried to stay as neutral as possible until we got more facts about him, about the things he's done to other
But
people over there, or how he treated some people.
even with your biasness, what I'm saying is, even that you even said
I mean,
that
as a person
in our
passing
last
away,
two
I feel
lives,
sorry
we
for his
actually
wife.
didn't attack Mark. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
But
so, yeah.
somehow people misconstrue.
Which is up to them to do that. So the whole thing is that the same with David Campbell. We've covered him before, but here we are with a woman that's a saint. This is also to bring up the facts about medical care. Outside, like people have tried to go to Guam. I've heard issues about that. People going back to the U.S., which is still an option for me. But at least I have family members to stay with. I didn't burn all my bread. Oh, you got donuts.
Now, guys, for $5 again. In the eyes of an angel.
You eat it this time.
Heidi will eat a full-size donut. Well, a full-size donut for $5.
No,
and Heidi will
not
eat it.
Today. It's you.
With the theme song of Jurassic Park.
No, not today. How about I slap you? I will punch George in the eye for just
$5.
Yeah, we're just going to ask for the money. Just ask for it. That's what I'm saying. If we're going to ask for it, we're just going to ask for it.
We're not asking for any
I
donations.
I am. For all you people that didn't send me anything for Christmas and New Year, shame on you.
Did you say for all the people that inseminated you? I could have sworn that's what I heard.
That's
for all the people that inseminated me.
So, anyways, I'm serious about Rose being a saint. I'm telling you because, and let me tell you what, I would have to skip George over about 100 times on that stuff. What George is good at is his gaming channel. What George is good at is gaming.
I'm not arguing with you. I mean, Rose is way hotter than I am. Just saying. I mean,
right? And she could definitely clean. So you ain't gonna be out there.
And she can cook Beagle Express and yum yum yum. Beagle Express.
Listen, she took the couch outside and cleaned the freaking couch and his bed. And she was like, "There's a stain on it." And I was just honest. I said it probably stinks too. I'm telling the truth. Hey, it's the truth. He's probably sweating, and he's a big person like me. I'm just saying. The whole point is she's cleaning the bed. Hush, boy, hush. Harpo, when I'm talking to you, I'll let you know. Hush. So, hush. Harpo.
What the heck is Harpo?
Really?
All right. Well,
the color purple.
Let's play the clip.
Oh, so anyway, so we'll run that. So the whole point is she's a freaking saint. And do I think that Jen would have done the same thing for Mark? I believe so. I believe she was a good wife. There was never any doubt on that. I'm sure she's a good mother. We could see that in the videos. As far as knowing what was up and coming and her, everything that happened, that I actually believe 100% that, it's a decision she made. Now she's raising her son. Now she'll be going through some things, but she could have actually suffered the same fate that he could have had, more, in other words, he could have survived whatever had happened, whether it was a stroke and a heart attack or whatever they're saying he had, because there's been so many stories out there and I don't have his medical files. She could have been stuck doing full care in there. And she did, and there's no doubt beyond my mind, she would have stuck by him and taken care of him. But I will let you know, Filipinas have left too. There are guys that have gotten sick after the fact, girlfriends, marriage, and they do take off. So they don't all stick around when the expats have issues. So remember, there's good and bad Filipinas like good and bad Americans. So
everybody has limits. Some have more shallow limits than others.
That's me.
Thing in America is the same as here, and it's not.
Maybe it's on. I only base on the subscriber. The
subscriber never said I needed it.
No, a lot of subscribers.
Okay, they're idiots. That. Are they? Do they go to the VA?
Okay, don't start, David. Don't start. Don't get angry.
Of course, I'm gonna get angry. What if somebody gets in a car accident or something? So...
No, it's not. I'm just talking about the appointment. You cannot read. Okay, can you tell to David? Okay, so, like David's like veteran that you're going to the VA hospital. You need an appointment.
No, you don't.
Not?
You don't. I've been to the VA hospital many times without an appointment.
Okay, what happened to you last year when you go to the...
Some stupid guy didn't realize that I had to be there. and they were full, and they kicked me out.
What I want to do is next year, I want to go with David because my cousin is in California. I want to go there. But David,
I'm really surprised. I did look. I did not see Smooth Lee made a statement. The last time he was in Vegas, as I'm to understand, it was Smooth Lee that went to the hospital to help him.
Leslie, yes.
Talk about another saint. He's over there. He's a vlogger, and he went and helped him. And pretty much David bit the hand that was helping him. And so I get, because I've been where I've been in serious medical problems, and when you're sick and not feeling good, there are a big portion of people that either fall into a major depression and crankiness, or just crankiness because they're in pain. David could have been cranky from day one. Who knows? I don't believe that's the original David that he was in his mid 30s. The older he gets, he was getting cranky. But the whole thing is Smooth Lee had put a few videos out after the fact, and that's where he started building his channel. He had already had a channel, don't get me wrong. And I looked, and it's been, I don't know, 9-10 days.
We don't know. Maybe David and Smoothly made up and they went to Tijuana. Just saying.
They went to the Dominican Republic and got them some.
I want to go
booty,
Dominican
booty,
Republic.
booty,
They just go to Tijuana. It's just right there.
Well,
right by
Rose,
Vegas.
I don't know. All I know is she left a comment. She's like, she had good vibes and all of that. And if that had been you, it wouldn't have been good vibes on there. If I was going to put all of our business out, that would have been, that dirty rat. Why hasn't he called me? And that's it. He lost his entrance into this house. But anyways, let's play there. I think there's more. So basically, it's just him attacking his viewers. It's just another second.
is decided go to Las Vegas, right?
Yes.
Because he said that your record is there.
Everything is in Las
okay,
Vegas. I
I
don't
let
want to go to
him-
California.
I let him go there, and we can afford to go both, right?
Yeah, we could go.
No, I
That's-
said we cannot afford to buy the ticket both because I need a ticket, a round trip, right?
Yeah.
And you,
Don't need a round
Only
trip because I'm not
one
coming
way.
back here.
why you're not coming back here?
Because it's not necessary. I don't like it here anymore.
Okay,
I've been here
let me
10
see.
years.
Let me see. No more casino. That's only I'm just reading the comments, okay? No casino.
I'll go to the casino if I want to because I have money. I can go to the casino. Who said no more casino? Some broke idiot.
David, what are you doing?
I'm talking to whoever said no more casino. He's an idiot.
You see David now?
Okay, so yeah, we were just talking about some of the stuff we knew that David had on air before, and it's been a love-hate relationship like people have with us with the Campbells. They've been around for a few years. They opened the second channel when they had monetization issues. They were fighting like, on air about stuff like that, and they were not hiding anything that was actually out there. But it's like as far as things going on, but it's got to be rough, and down to leaving him in a wheelchair out front, hosing him down with a hose. And I'm like, that was rough. And so I probably wouldn't have went that far, and we made that statement and everything. And but I don't know. He's, where is David? Is he really in a casino like it was the last time? There a whole thing where he got thrown out of the casino and everything, and all kinds of stuff about getting on to the airplane and him being sick and he couldn't get on there, some delayments. There was a whole mess during the last thing. And in that clip, if you guys go and watch her channel, the full clip is over there that they made that statement where she was saying, David, no, there was issues. He's like, I've been back to the US 10 times since I've been here and never any problems. And she's, what do you mean? That last one, she had to go get him. So, is it worth it to travel? And some people may not be able to. I'm really surprised he was able to travel, even if he wasn't critical. You have to get yourself in a good space to be able to get through the airports, which you can get some assistance to get through the airports. But if you need like assistance, like, in and out of the seat and all that, that's where you would have the problem. Is nobody's going to do that unless you had a companion go with them. So, yep, a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm telling you again that David Campbell is in Tijuana at El Paraíso Hotel with Elliot Eastman.
Probably Mark too. Don't forget about Mark.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people said we didn't know him. People like, well, how dare you talk of the dead? And do you guys know either? Although I do have something. I'll get to it here in a minute.
Okay. So, hey, David did the same thing last year. Flew to Vegas, VA visit, kicked out of a VA clinic and a casino. Is this some type of annual fundraising event? That's what Ick Bigger is saying.
They've said that, over the time, she's changed her clothes. It went from like dressing one way, and then when people and the trolls start picking on her or David and all that, she then went back to some conservative clothes. I did notice she went from a lot of strapless items of that, and that's what they were saying. And then the trolls, looks like evidently the trolls are still around. She's going through all that, but I just noticed exactly what she said throughout that last live stream of just her is exactly what she pinned. I'm not asking for any money, as there's no reason to even ask. And there's no reason to even say that. And I'm like, if I was just going to do it, I would just ask and joke or say it, right on air and say, hey, it's a joke, or say, hey, give me some money, guys. It's, I need it to pay the electric bill, and I'm saving for George's funeral when he falls down the stairs next week at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. I'm just going to ask for it. But I'm going to tell you one thing. It has been said, and you guys can say lies all you want. If George passes away, you will not see anything. I'll just say, hey, he's gone. This is how it goes. I'm not going to ask for any money. Same here. You will not hear a peep about saying, hey, I got to, send money, send Gcash, and do all that so we can pay for George's funeral. And we're not even going to sit here and say, hey, we were organized and have money, because we're not organized. We don't have the money for super emergencies. And we have some money. We don't have hundreds of thousands of
more
dollars.
Organized than she lets out, but she's very organized.
Right, but as of right now, we only have a basic ideal as far as we know. We have stuff on paper, but we haven't like filed any will or went and sat down with an attorney anytime soon.
No, we don't have a will.
We have
but
in
we
the United
do
States
have the paperwork in one folder. In folders.
Yes, we have that type of stuff.
That type of stuff. And
but we're not going to sit here and claim financial. I've taken care of so and so and so and so, and then turn around and say, hey, here's my Gcash and my PayPal and all that, and please watch all the videos because George is broke and has to pay for Heidi's 6 coffin wide coffin that she's got to pay for, or the Gold Diamond Express flight to Dumageddon to have me cremated there, being they've got a large crematorium.
Yeah, but again, we're not asking for any money or any donations, right? Yes, just for $5. $5, Heidi will eat a donut.
No, I'm gonna punch you for it.
And hum Jurassic Park. Hey, I'm just mama. Hey, if somebody donates and I have to like wear a strapless and drink Bud Light, I do it. Just saying.
Here's the thing. At least we ain't gonna lie about. That's the one thing I'm gonna tell you right now. If we're gonna ask, I'm gonna ask. Here we are. Send money. And if we're going to do drama, we're telling you we're gonna do drama. We have 1,400 videos for all those lovers and little channels trying to use our channel. Go ahead, use it, and you will always.
You're not gonna play the self-righteous YouTuber.
No, the ones that do drama that say they don't do drama.
We don't do
talk
drama.
About our drama.
But let's talk about drama anyway.
It happens every time.
You're a freaking liar.
And don't get over yourself that it's you, because it's just not you. There were like a dozen channels after the Mark Thornton that came through. They not only covered
than you think.
And that went through. And so we knew that. We knew at that point that based on what I said, how we acted, who we were as a couple, the age gap relationship of me and George, me being loud, that, hey, you guys use people, you guys do drama, you guys do all this, and that. You're right. We also helped hundreds of people come over. We did all that Mark Thornton crap. We did all the old dog stuff. We do the Filipina P thing. By the way, I told George I'd be addressing the Filipina P and her charity lately. You don't put all of it on air, guys. When you give like that as a Muslim, Christian, and others, if you got to put it all on YouTube to do that, you were doing it for YouTube. Because we got some messages. They were like, did you see that the P did this Christmas thing and she got like 2,000 worth of stickers alone inside for giving out $300 worth of stuff, worth of gift bags on a jeepney? And I was like, yeah, it's what she does every year. The simps give out money. She makes money. It's all script. That's her. But I don't know why she does it all on air when she has all the other content and stuff. So you don't do charity on air. The whole point is we're all YouTubers. If you're in it, you're in it. It doesn't matter. Just like the other small channels talking about, oh, self-righteous this and so talked about that. You in it too. So it doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, you ain't us. So bite me and next. So I'll be really, jeez. So whole
Did you
point
say
is,
Jiminy Crickets? That's my line.
dang, I hope somebody sends sticker money so I can punch you.
I love Pinocchio, in case you guys are wondering where Jiminy Crickets come from. But anyway. MP, hello, Filipinensic Squad.
Anything over 500 pesos, I punch George. If you send the $5 stickers, I'm
Whoa,
going
whoa,
to
whoa, whoa.
eat the donut. So then we'll
Okay,
know who gets what.
You can't promote violence.
$10 and $5.
Thank you. Much better. Yeah.
There it is. What you talking about?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on because I do want to talk drama today.
It's like the
I've
difference
already been
between
nice.
For $5, I'll eat the roast beef. For $10, I'll punch the roast beef. Anyway, smile and be happy. Thumbs up. Speaking of punches, thumbs up. Roast beef tastes like roast beef.
Really?
Sarah Tyson.
Better than tasting like a hot dog like it did yesterday. So quiet, salty hot dog boy. That's why the mattress stinks.
Hello.
Next.
Sarah Tyson says, hello, Heidi and George. Happy New Year in health, roomies. There you go. Happy New Year, guys.
Yes, it is New Year's Eve. And this year, to be double cheap because George is cheap, we'd be partying it down here and getting some local footage here. So we can see all the fireworks here. We're doing, oh, Lord, what are you doing now?
I just have to talk about our sponsor.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Why didn't you think about that before?
I did. Why do you think it's in my bag?
Because you do the last minute thing. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lou says, please upload Filipino New Year party. I want to see George drunk.
Yeah.
I'm planning on getting $300 bottle of tequila.
Oh, snap. We overspent for Christmas, and an example of the stuff we did give away, not on air. And we will be staying here because the last couple years we went out. Now, last year, George went up to Candy Palace and partied it down with Scott and did other things. And I stayed home because my lupus was in a flare and I was sick, platelets and all that stuff. And then somehow it was just like this year, we're just going to, chill here. We did originally have a hotel and some other things planned down in Angel City, and it was just one of those things. We didn't think we'd be overspending and giving away at Christmas too. So the trip to Landers and giving away little things and the gift bags was half of what we did. So no, we'll be doing it here. Hey, Tony.
Yeah, Tony Manning. Hello, everyone. What's up? Hey,
Stayed
Ted.
in
How you
there.
doing?
Read
Good
the
day, beautiful
messages.
people. Max says,
Good
hello, guys.
morning.
Why is
Hey,
yours talking
Ted.
like I'm Batman? $300 tequila. That's the only $300 tequila that I know is the one that comes in an AKA bottle. Because the Skull is only like in the US probably 150. Patron's probably around 200 maybe. Unless you're talking about a bigger Patron.
I'm going to address
Probably my guess.
Sarah further down. She goes, there is a vlogger in Mindanao who said the trolls sent a vicious email to the vloggers. Yeah. And there's different levels. We've been called trolls. When I mentioned Shock Jock the other day, it was just a side note, making a joke. I'm a loudmouth, but we know we're not the
No, you're
loud
not.
mouse in the, shut up, in the in the Philippines, but there are dark trolls and the darker trolls, the ones that try to go above and beyond. So somebody took the time to gather not every vlogger, but every vlogger within a radius of about 100, and they attached them with some government people and used 4 different names to send it out four or 5 times, saying that they were going to turn Jen in and how she did her husband in, and they made up a bunch of stuff. And those aren't the only ones we receive, because we're always receiving things about different channels. There are people that we hear about stuff long in advance. We just don't talk about them all. We try to get a little side info before we bring some of it up. But yes, we're aware that they did, and it looks like he went forward to talk about it. I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm no longer ever giving that man credit again, because he said Elliot was here, Elliot was gone, he was here, he was gone. And that guy has done the weirdest content, and he's wrapped up in those people that are in that area that we don't. They're all mad because we won't have them on our channel, and being on our channel to even leave a comment is not an option. So they can just create accounts to come and leave messages. That's fine, but we're not going to promote their names, or it's not a diplomatic. It's not a right for these people to come in and say, hey, blah blah blah, you want to talk this, we're allowed to be here situation. No, it's not. So in the end, yes, we're aware that, and they added regular people to that too. So there were a few of our people they attached it to, and it was really strange who they added to the list, but they really took the time to find people. And then they sent it out under a bunch of accounts. So they had to do all that searching, and that would have took time. That probably took hours to gather, go to each thing and copy paste and put all this together. And then they would have had to go and create all these different accounts, which still took time. The whole point is somebody is really after Mark and Jen. And it's just crazy. So that's all I want to say, is that's just where it is. And I feel that it's a lot more toxic and worse here in the Philippines. It's bad in Thailand. They do the same thing. The vloggers turn on each other over there. They cover each other. Now more than ever, that's what they're doing. If you look, there's 2 or 3 dozen channels that are mimicking what we've been doing for years, but now they just cover everything. They'll either talk about their housing, they'll either talk about, they're trying to do expat help one minute, then they're showing their personal life, and then they go through and do, where they're covering people, but some just cover outright drama, and it is what it is. It's just the thing to do, but these expats turn on each other really, really quick. And if you guys are butthurt or sensitive over the things we said, you definitely don't belong here. We get you're going to watch and gawk anyways, and we thank you. Hey, Clifford Smallwood, what is up?
Wait, I'm late. Start over. Bigger says Rose is number 1. Ted says you can go to the VA for any medical care. It doesn't have to be connected. That's only in the Philippines.
Okay. See, I mean, I'm not. That would make sense, because my sister April there's the one in Tampa. I think there's one is it Tampa? There's one. I know there's one near her in the Tampa Bay area. And yes, I didn't think it had to be connected, but only in the Philippines. Okay, what about the caregiver? If somebody made a comment on the caregiver part, they say caregivers can be paid, but will they do that with her over here too? I would imagine she could. I mean, they're doing the Social Security thing here. So that would be really great.
So the realtor says, magandang umaga po sa lahat. Good morning to you all.
Hey, what's going on? He said, maga dang, man.
DD214 says, I'm a veteran. However, I am not disabled, but I can go to the VA. But I must make an appointment first. Gotcha. I cannot just drop into the VA facility and expect to be seen. It does not work that way. So he's DD214 is verifying that you can't just pop in.
Speaking of dark people, she said Rose became a caretaker. She wishes she was an undertaker.
God.
Dang.
Wow. A little dark for the new year there, sweetheart.
Oh, boy.
I like it. All right. Bigger says, need to be service connected for the VA to help him. Has the vultures circling just like Thorin's wife. Oh, Rose has the vultures.
They've been doing
circling.
that. Here's the thing:
Yeah.
what I don't understand. Whatever vloggers have wives that either have their own channels. That was the whole inspiration also of doing the Lazy American Expat channel. Is I'm like, wait a minute. All the other people have their channels, and their wives then have their channels, and all of this, and it's all going to be under George's company, anyways. I just work for free, but might as well do my own channel. And it's like, I already started doing the weight loss one at one point, and I'm like, but when these girls do the channels and they're with their husband and wives, like they have separate channels, but they appear like I am with George. They circle around like during the live streams. They send them emails on the side, but some of them will just outright send it just for the wives with them there on air and stuff. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But it's like, and be like, oh, you're just jealous. No, not really. It's just kind of a. I just found it to be odd, and David used to get upset on air, and I think the trolls were like messing with him on air to get him to react. And then some didn't care whether he knew it. They were ready to take his woman, and there was no talking about no shame and stuff. Oh, I'm sure they're circling Jen already. I'm sure, almost without a doubt.
Okay. Well, again, Jen is a different story. Mark's passed away. Rose is a different story because David is probably still okay. So two different, that's like night and day there.
Okay, hold on. I got to show George something. Here, check this out. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, I know what that. Yeah, I can't say anything.
Yeah, check it out. And that's outside before he got it.
Yeah.
Which we can't show it, so it's a Doomageddon video that was. Gotta love the crew.
Hey, Ickbigger, I don't have a problem with your comments. I just can't really put your name up that much. DD214 says, I cannot just drop, and well, you can just change it to Richard. I cannot just drop into the VA. Oh, wait,
yeah, because we know it's not his real name. We don't mind, but yeah, we've
Curtis
said from
Doran
the beginning.
says, good morning and happy New Year. Good morning, Curtis Doran.
Good morning.
Victor
Hey,
C,
Victor.
George and Heidi, happy New Year. Hey, Victor C, liked. Thank you so much. Denton says, oh no, David and Rose, not again. Right? Because, yes, it's about this time of year. Not exactly a year,
you think
but
he's just
somewhat.
looking for a vacation?
Okay. Now, here's the thing. During these times, the people do have a breakdown usually. The holidays always bring it in. Again, this has during the holidays has the highest rate of fatalities, especially Christmas.
That is true.
I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying these are facts. These are the times when people don't feel right anymore. Like literally, like there's something wrong with me. I probably need to go to the hospital. That kind of deal. It's probably David's cycle as far as that's concerned. Not necessarily has anything to do with financial reasons. I get it. It looks that way. But I believe personally that this is just the time of year.
Good morning, Bruce.
I mean, it's possible David experienced a really bad traumatic event during Christmas.
I took his wheelchair away. If that was you, you guys can Yelp abuse all you want. If you were talking about going there, knowing that you weren't going to get an appointment, knowing that there was that whole incident the last time, and the incident of the casino, and he was in that same bout with no family help and all that. The whole point is if you were in that, I'd have took your wheelchair. That you guys can call it whatever it is. I'm so damn tired of these people talking about, oh, well, that's abuse and this is going by the book and you can't treat your husband like that and blah, blah. No, that's exactly what I would do. I'm tired of these PABs, get the abbreviation and break down the words. Pussy a biatch. And the whole point is I'm tired of these butthurt sensitive ladies that are just like, oh, you can't do that. No, actually, you should. She should have took his wheelchair and told him to sit down somewhere and stop that, because here he is again. So either it's a evil genius plan, and she's like, hey, just let him do his own thing and whatever, and I can't stop him and all that. No, I'm sorry. There's a limit. Now you're husband and wife, and you're running a household together, and he used all that money that could have went for her son's college. It could have went to build additional things for the house. Could have done more medical local, just get medical. It should have been something, but I bet you he's that freaking stubborn that it was an absolute incest. I don't believe that Rose. I believe she's obedient to an extent because we've seen her get feisty on
everybody
air.
has their limits.
Right, she gets feisty on air, which means we know that she, backbites. So it's not like, okay, yes, that's you go ahead and go. No, it's just, I took his wheelchair. So why don't you guys talk about that for a while? I took his wheelchair.
Well, that was my bright side theory. Now I do have a dark side theory.
Okay, I want to hear this.
Now, before we get into the dark side
How
theory,
many of you would have took David's wheelchair? Because we'll probably hear about that for a week.
That's
How dare you?
that's-
Why would you take a
that's
disabled
messed up.
man's wheelchair?
that's messed up.
No, it's not. No,
That's
it's
messed
not.
up. Mm.
No.
Now, before
I didn't say tie all of his toes together and tie him to the doorknob situation. No, I didn't say any of that.
some kinky stuff.
Only you would think it was.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This show was brought to you by Nutting Hill. If you want your roast beef a little more nuttier, just add Nutting Hill.
At least we have some real nuts in this house.
There you go. Okay, so again, the bright.
Happy New Year's to you.
It's sealed. And now the
I
bright
know
side
that.
theory again. Remember, it's this time of year.
Don't need the cherry oil.
People
tonight,
go
don't do
through
it.
this downside, and they feel bad.
Tastes
and
like-
again,
Tastes like nutty hot.
right.
nut-
It's very
nutty
possible that
hot dog.
David Campbell did experience a traumatic event during this time. I've experienced
Traumatic. Okay.
I've experienced traumatic events during this time, so I'm not gonna. That's not even a thing, really. It's very common. The dark side theory. Now, the dark side theory goes like this:
Oh boy.
could it be that? Because here's the thing: men and women
I think I'm hungry.
do
Anyways.
have a propensity to start an argument just so they can have an excuse to leave.
Well, I figure, why is this upside down?
Now you're like, okay, why would he like start an argument? Well, he would
George
start
is good at this, by
he
the
would
way.
start an argument because one, it would give him space and time alone. Okay. Why would he leave the country? Well,
The
this
gambling
is
fever?
actually pretty good because if he leaves the
Does
country,
anybody know
he
if he's
resets his
drinking or-
visa.
No, she said they got it before he left, but
I understand that. I'm just saying. Again, this is dark side theory. I'm not saying it's true by any means, but
I got ripped off.
he could have left to reset his visa. And also, keep in mind, no, I'm not saying he went to Vegas in particular to do anything naughty. Not necessarily, no. Sometimes, in all honest, goodness truth, and everybody's been there, sometimes you just want some space from your partner. Period. You know?
You see that down there? Sit and spin, mofo. And by the way, for all those that talk about me eating my junk and all that, I gave up sugar, and didn't give up sugar. I gave up my sugar mama, but I gave up alcohol and smoking and kinky stuff. I'm going to keep the sugar for right now, but for all those that talk about the side stuff, I did lose almost 18 pounds since I started that thing last year. Like a year ago, I went and cut out all those sugar and everything, did it for 2 or 3 months, but then I slowly creeped back in. But my eating still, believe it or not, had substantially shrunk. And I am still down 18 pounds through the year. So I haven't gained any weight. The steroids has got me all bloated and stuff. But I'm definitely today going to be eating. I think we're going to get a pizza too. But the whole point is YOLO. I'm gonna keep that kinky stuff. We're gonna replace the cherry oil with peanut butter.
Okay. Anyway.
No, I just want to say on a side note when I thought about that.
Ick Bigger says he did the same thing last year, kicked out of the VA facility and a casino. Correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Joseph Alfred says you can go into the emergency room, but you must have a life-threatening issue. Oh, I think he's
Yeah,
talking
and
about
she
the
said
VA.
that it wasn't. She said it wasn't life threatening. So that he didn't get in. So he's somewhere. They don't know where because she doesn't have any family, and
Yeah,
that's really
Ickbigger
sad.
says not sure if Rose has a tourist visa to visit the U.S. She doesn't. She had to use an emergency visa last time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, she said she does now. She says she has a multiple entry visa for the next 10 years. So she did get all that settled since last year. She said that on air. I watched that this morning.
Okay. Well, in that case,
You can go hunt him down.
well, it's not that. It's
I wouldn't. I'd have took his wheelchair.
well, what I'm saying is that's also part. Why didn't he take Rose? Well, to be honest with you, my theory is, and this is very plausible. Not necessarily. I'm not saying it's true. It's plausible. It's financial.
No, she said that. She says we can't afford for both of us to go.
Correct.
Is what she said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just answering,
And I was telling George that this morning.
questions
There's a
in their
lot
minds
of us expats that are on
why she isn't
limited
with him.
income.
Right.
Quite a few. You don't have all the Fred Flintstone 10%er, Fred and Wilma crap going on with their smancy little alleged life, which is still the bottom of the pool when it comes to rich people here. But not everybody's like that. And a lot of us had things and life happens, whether your ex-wife took it from you, whether you had medical emergencies, whether different things happen, life happens. Not everybody has, things happen. And so, no, they said that they could not afford but I don't know if she was going to go anyways, But I was going to say something else, but I lost that point of it.
Ted, I know what you're talking about, but I don't understand how he qualifies. Ted says he's retired. He can take the free hop out of Clark. I know what Ted's talking about, but
as a military, do they actually have that over here?
That's the thing.
I don't think they keep
Technically, not from Clark. It's possible from Clark. However, I'm not.
I think they left out of Manila. I think she said Manila. They went to Manila.
Yeah, see, that's what I was getting at. It's kind of weird. Again, like, okay, Ted's talking about the military. Yes, the free hops, I get it. You just jump on a C-130 and then you fly for free. I get it, but the problem is not. Again, I don't make the rules. I'm not making this up. Is technically the U.S. military in the Philippines, Navy and Air Force. Yes. Are they officially here? No. And that's what I said. That's where everything goes into a gray area because technically they're not here. They use the runways.
But do all military get the free flights like that afterwards? Veterans, everything? It's one of the benefits. I'm not sure. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean we have A-10 Warthogs flying overhead a lot of times right now. Just saying. I mean, Philippines can't even afford those depleted uranium. You know what I'm saying? I mean, too many crickets. Those are A-10 Warthogs. Anyway, Joseph says she said he got a one-way ticket. Oh. He doesn't know when he'll be back.
Oh, that's bad business at that point.
One-way ticket.
But didn't he do that the last time?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he did the same the last time.
Yes. Stars Island says, I think he's a piece of and wouldn't waste a phone call looking for him.
She's getting a lot of that advice, guys. And there are definitely guys awaiting on the other hand, so we get it. Come here.
Ickbigger says, sir, I don't disagree. Philip Macy says, it was quite an ordeal last time David took a trip to the U.S. I think he also disappeared bit last time.
They said he was in the casinos and all kinds of stuff. I keep wanting to say it was the appearance he was drunk all the time, but I think they were just saying there was other medical issues going on with him, but I know it was a hot mess.
Yeah. Sartan says, all George wants is his chance.
Yeah.
Go Mario. Anyway, Harry Walsh, I agree, Sarah.
You a free bird.
Dan says he's a very difficult person. Harry Walsh, hello from Deer Park, New York. Ickbigger
He's
says,
trying to live out of the casino.
yeah, he was homeless trying to live in a casino until they kicked him out.
Mr. Bigger.
No, Ickbigger, just so you guys know, he's saying a lot of truthful stuff again. These all did happen, and he's just reiterating to those of you who doesn't know what's going on or what did happen last year. Second win, morning antics peeps. Harry Walsh says, I wished all blessed, prosperous, healthy, happy new year. Yes.
Sarah said further down, David Campbell is a used up old fart. No cure for cancer coming from him. Who cares where he is unless she can't get in the safe deposit box? She's a saint. I'm going to tell you that right now. A lot of people talk about money grubbing and looking for money. You know, relationships are relationships. So I think the last time he did leave her financially with issues. So that I knew.
Financially destitute. No. According to Rose, in her own words, that's what David did. Is he left with the finances and everything? No debit card, no nothing, no checks. He just left. And technically,
Well, I hope
Rose
that's
had to
her
fend
name
for
on
herself.
the channel and stuff direct, because that does make the difference. It doesn't matter who appears. He appears all the time on both channels, and she does. But I would think that she would have had those channels in her name and got a setup for the payment. So if anything, she would at least have that coming in until he returns. But, you know, the sticker money, I'm sure, will help her for sure. On a serious note, yes, the guys, it will help her, yes.
Wow. David doesn't have a lot of fans here. Timothy Rogers says, good morning from Columbus, Ohio.
Good morning.
Stay and win. Happy New Year. Freaking year.
Can you believe it? We were just talking about that. Where did the year go?
No, where did the year go? I mean, we were just talking about David Campbell exactly almost a year ago. John Hobbs says, who in the world would miss that complete son of a...
Yeah.
Hey, Geechee, how you doing? Good day, George and Heidi. Hey,
Good
Geechee.
morning, Geechee.
Yeah. Greg Spearman says, good for you. Donuts have zero nutrition.
Maybe.
Carbs and sugar,
Right.
which is basically almost the same. But anyway, yes.
YOLO, and neither does alcohol and a bunch of other things, but people do it. So
This is true. This is true.
And cigarettes. The funny part is I just absolutely love the men and women that sit there and talk about size, weight, and everything else, and they're a 2-pack a day smoker and drinking and other party favors
Most
and
of the
unsafe.
Time, when somebody picks on somebody's weight,
SEX situation,
online, they're usually overweight too.
Yes,
Yeah.
themselves.
I mean,
So I would never believe the person that's saying it. And so, you know, maybe not to my extent, but people don't know every single medical condition that I have. And yes, eating the sugar and junk is whatever, but I always say I'm sure they've got some nasty habit, and sugar is mine, and I'm working on it. So hey, I know, don't you love how she jumps up there?
Sarah Tyson says there's a vlogger minute now.
Yeah,
you already read that.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
DD214 says not Harpo.
Yeah, I covered that one. Yeah, no, Harpo.
Learning to Live says you're both funny, and wow, another one.
Another one. Yeah, I already covered that one. Yeah.
This one?
Well, the emails, that's funny because a few of them mentioned it. Yeah. No, they sent that. Somebody sent it out. I have an idea of who the few people were because it was traced to an area, so we know the area it came from. But I'm not even going to bother. But it was one of some that many have been sending out.
Joe Shabatani says, "Oh, Jesus, sir." That was funny though. That was funny. I have to admit. Man, wow, this is rough. John says that guy takes up valuable airspace in this crowded planet. Wow. Tony Manning says, I think they do miss they do this every year so they can get money.
Could be, you know.
DD214 says, I think he's done with David. Well,
but we're not imagining that they're the perfect couple sitting over there playing Parcheesi and having cake and crumpets and tea and sitting around just, you know, banging it up 24/7. You know, I just can't see all of that. Just like me, you know, I have my limits and I'm cranky, and all of it is leaking on air. But the whole thing is I don't think it's too made up. I just think they're like a lot of these couples, they're just plopping it on air, and so it's a rough situation. And for her, I believe she's really going through it. So I don't know about it being,
Yeah.
but it did happen this time last year, and I think he gets bored and wanting to go back, and we all get that itch to go back. Some guys go back, some don't, and then it's easy if they're fighting, all the time, that he would just say, "Hey, I'm going now. I'm just gonna, kill three birds with one stone and take care of everything at once. I'm leaving," and that's where it came down to. Maybe, who knows?
Denver says this woman's a saint.
Yeah,
And no, this is true. Peter North. Um, Peter North
they've
says
been waiting.
guys are waiting for David to move out. Trust me.
Yep, they do that to a lot of these vloggers that are still showing a happily marriage. And you see them in the live streams, the comments, and talk to other vloggers. It's like, yeah, these guys, and it's actually almost broke up, if not broke up, some marriages because they don't trust their woman. There's a big trust issue thing, and I can think of one big one here in Angel City that happened to. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Rip says she's lucky he wants to stay in the USA. Shane says doesn't matter. Well, this is true, guys. Doesn't matter if David wants to move out. She's still married, and it's a crime to date a married woman. Not only is it a crime if okay, let's say me, okay, just an example. Again, we're talking about scenarios here. Let's say David did go to the US and he's still there, right? And I move in and approach Rose, and me and Rose have a relationship. Guess what? That doesn't it if I'm not saying Rose here she did that or anything like that. Point being, if a woman goes with another man while she's married, she's gonna do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Remember that. Um Dan says, I really feel sorry for her. He is so difficult. He has no filter. He can be mean.
There can be some Americans. It could be British people too. I just think the older these guys get with medical problems and age, yeah. I've seen the Brits here do it and the Aussies, and so I guess it's just not Americans. But yes, I'm.
Yeah. Peter
But
North
anyway, I
says
understand.
David has a sister in LA,
Yeah, that they said he.
but I believe she doesn't want nothing to do with him. I thought.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah. No, nobody does. One second. Yeah.
DD214 says David's not aware that every VA location shares all their records electronically. Electronically, he could have stopped in California.
Yeah, because he went on. Yeah. Well, it's just like when they both took that whole trip over to Singapore, they just thought they could walk into Google. When we both went to Google both times, there was heavy security. We had to show all this stuff and everything, and they're not going to let you in, especially like us. We have a Google manager and, we have insiders there. It's a little different than just walking in. They just went there, and of course, they got rejected to handle their AdSense, and it's a whole different division. So AdSense and the ads, the Google ads and everything are totally different factions of just walking up to the Google building and say, "Hey, where's my money?" For YouTube, it's something totally different.
Correct.
And I can't believe they had actually gone through all that.
Yeah, that's a little too much. Sarah Tyson says, what kind of money does he have? Casinos are not cheap to hang around.
Somebody said something about $100 or something
Rose needs a lawyer.
to be made his conservator. Yeah.
What does that mean? She controls the money?
Well, yeah, take over. It's kind of like the Britney thing when losing, yeah, because with his issues
Disability.
that he's having, yeah, and he's having memory issues, he could be cranky because of the stroke. And we do have to give David some of that credit that medical conditions can cause the mental side, the diminish of the mind, and all this crankiness and everything comes along with it. Again, things that people discount. So it is possible that a lot of his stuff, maybe in his younger years, he wasn't kind of like me. My filters are getting thin, but with other medical issues going on, it's not a full excuse, but there is a good chance he has little to no control. He's just cranky, and so we know he's going through other medical conditions. So I have to give him that credit, and that's I know I'm going through it.
Well,
I mean, there are
has
things that I swear up and down with George that I did, said, and everything. He said that was 4 days ago, and I'm like, there it is. And I'll swear up and down, and we get into things on that. So it's
Well,
I imagine
she has a lot of patience. That's for sure.
I sure do.
Not you. Never you.
You still here, aren't you?
Barely. And yeah, I think you messed with my nutting thing. Oh, you didn't. Okay. Good. That's for
Yeah, don't break that open because it already smells like hot dogs in here. Please
that's
put
for
it down.
later use.
No, it's not.
Anyway, Gary says, can a veteran stop in Manila VA and pick up a blood pressure machine, and if it's service connected for high blood pressure without an appointment? Ted says you always need to schedule equipment with the VA.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and here it is a little different. I knew all the way around that part of it, so I hear, yeah.
Oh dang! Bigger Viagra got the best of Mark.
What is that?
George
John looks pretty
Hobbs,
young. Is he
body
sick
heart
or
disease.
something?
Yeah, that's why I skipped it. It's kind of vague. It's like, Anyway,
Okay.
Philip Macy says I would pay to see all of that. Peter Harrison says, "Oh dang! Somebody watching the channel on a regular basis." Peter says, "Hey George, be careful, brother. Be careful, brother." On the stairs in this afternoon. You and your stairs. Oh my gosh.
It's the way that I've been seeing you go your demise, man. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay, now full disclosure.
Because he always is going up and down.
Whenever I go up and down the stairs, doesn't matter what stairs it is, where it's at, I usually do run up and down the stairs. It's this thing I do.
You know what's really messed up is I always get these premonitions. Watch that really happen. We always joke. It's like, I seen Heidi, just like this stuff that goes down with these other vloggers. Heidi said that was going to happen to him. Oh my God. So I might have to put, you know what? I'm going to get one of those special helmets that we used to put on the kids at the neurological center. And I'm going to have to put one of those padded helmets on you every time you go upstairs from now on. That way nothing happens to your noggin.
Yeah.
Might break a few knees or something, not be able to walk for a while, but.
Now, this is interesting because, again, this is not the first time we've heard it. Second one says, don't do a will, set up a trust to avoid probate.
There was that big debate about Mark Thornton and what was done with Jen and all that. And yes, for the will, you would have to do that. So we didn't mention the probate side of it. And I forgot there is that, or the, just like you said, the trust, because I said the will you would have to. So we were right in that manner. But the trust is, but I don't know how that's fully set up. Usually you wouldn't set your only heirs up as the trust runners, that run the whole thing. And there's a bunch of rules to that. And it's a matter if he did all that or not. For those that don't know, they already did that funeral. Like she did the funeral days ago. I want to say it was probably 4 or 5 days ago. And there was no additional information. Only one other person did a video. And they scattered his ashes and everything else at the water side, which brought up a whole nother topic of, legalities of her being able to do that. And some guy put it on air that she did that. And in the Philippines, it is illegal. And we double checked with people and we don't know how she got away with scattering his.
Illegal by law, but people do it.
Yeah. So that's where we're at on that is some people did. Oh, smack.
Who's that? Which one?
Onstad just got you slapped.
Oh wait, hold on.
Michael Onstad.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
over
hold
here.
that. Minute 9:40.
Happy New Year. Hey, Michael. No, not me. That's you. Okay. Jurassic Park.
No, I said if we got a 500 sticker, which is $10, I was
Alright.
going to slap you.
So, in one gulp, Heidi is going to swallow a whole donut with the Jurassic Park theme song. Wait, you ready?
No.
You ready?
Nope.
One gulp.
That's the big donut. No.
You have to do the arm thing.
I would get much more pleasure slapping you.
What you can't condone violence. You know that.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
No, that's big.
That's what she said. No, here you go. This is your Boston cream.
You already fingered
This
it.
is a Boston cream version of Mr. Donut.
Mm.
This is from Mr. Donut, guys. It's actually really good.
If I was Mark, I'd ate a bunch of these.
What?
I'd have chose this over the blue pill in her. Way more pleasure.
Well, a lot of men would disagree with that one, but just saying.
You can use this at the same time.
Well, yeah, you can. I mean, I don't know the name for eating while doing it. I forgot that there's a term. Anyway.
How come they put both in here?
I know, it's weird.
Here.
It's very weird. Oh, you're done here.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it in there. Yeah. They have these little donuts that they make. They're not donut holes. They're actually donuts themselves, but they're.
I wonder what's worse. What's really worse, the sugar or the alcohol and smoking? If the combination, probably all of them are bad together, of course.
Well, they're
but-
all bad. However, smoking does usually control weight.
Yeah, but it'd probably kill you quicker.
Honestly, okay. I'm not condoning smoking nor anti, but I know a lot of people smoke. Obviously, everybody does, but it seems like if it's your time, it's your time when it comes
That's
to
what we were
smoking.
talking. Well, I think any of it. There are overweight people that don't.
And honestly, like there's certain things that occurred recently in recent events that I'm involved in, and I don't think the smoking was actually the cause. I think it was the vaccination.
Hey, got somebody from Brazil.
You know what I'm saying? Like a side
You
effect.
think for him it was one of the side effects? You don't think it had
Correct.
anything to do
I
with
don't think it has
because
something to do
they're
with smoking.
claiming there was still an
I
active
think
love
it's
life with them,
the
and they're saying there were.
the vaccination can do
It's possible, yeah.
serious damage. But again, these are all kind of up in the air. Just saying.
Yeah. You know what? I just don't believe it's one thing. There are big people that don't have a lot of medical conditions. Till just recently, I only had a few things going on, like thyroid. And then a couple years ago, I ended up with different levels of cancer. And then I ended up with the lupus. And I get bigger people. It's not a promotion for big people to not have checks or that they're not unhealthy. What I'm saying is a combination.
Yeah.
So I was just wondering if skinny people that just drink alcohol, if you put them in a race with the big person, which one is actually like my grandfather was 60 something when he passed away from the alcohol. So what I'm saying is he wasn't a big guy. So it's just like, I guess anything is bad on your health. It's how much and control and
actually alcohol is good for you as long as you control it.
But yeah, guys, check out Michael on Facebook.
Yes, Michael Onstad for all your sorry, Michael. Happy New Year, Michael Onstad says. Michael Onstad for all your insurance needs.
It's pretty good. You're getting good at it.
All right. No, really, he's the guy. Again, whether it's life or health insurance, he's the guy. And again, this is a serious matter. Honestly,
no, it is.
Life insurance is actually very important because you don't want to leave your partner hanging.
Well, here's the thing, and no, you just forget about it. I'm not making any prep whatsoever. I'm just going to lay that out there. I ain't getting no insurance. I'm not saving any money. I'm not putting no money down, no nothing. I'm just going to sit here, suffer, and then set the place. Just drop a match and walk out. That is my plan.
What,
The
when
match plan.
when you pass away?
Yes,
How are you gonna do that?
it's called the match plan.
Mm.
I need a little gas, but and you know what else I called that plan? But you said I can't say that. You said I can't bring back the 1940s.
I'm gonna have some bacon and flava beans.
What you talking about?
Hello, clitoris.
George put a hold on me getting that deep freezer. He goes, you know that doesn't look good, right? He said,
What are those legs sticking out of your deep freezer?
George is like, you talk already too much about me falling down the stairs. And then he goes, you are not getting that deep freezer.
Those
Because
are-
he's always saying that's how you get where you store somebody to keep collecting their check. And I'm like, no. And I was like, yeah, we'll get it anyways because I need something for storage for, and you said, no, yes, don't get a deep freezer, guys. It's not good for the expat or the Filipina. It's just giving them a plan. But no, it's in all serious. If you guys can get the insurance and you qualify, the thing about self-pay here, he could have used all that money. I know tickets are somewhere between 16 and 2,000. And if he bought it at the last minute, he was still looking at 80,000 pesos to get up out of here. 70, 80,000. He could have used that and got some care here. This was about him going and hitting that casino. And he said it on air. You guys just heard him say it, that if he wants to go to the casino, he's going to casino.
Okay, now the casino theory. I don't know what the heck is up with the casino. Because one,
He got thrown out of it the last time.
let's get real.
Maybe he's with Smooth Lee right now. Maybe
that's
they
what
up
I
there
said.
living their best life.
Him and Smooth Lee are in Tijuana right now. But what I'm saying
Or
is,
Brazil, or who knows?
if some of you think that he's in the
Getting a
casino for
Brazilian
the
wax.
casino, because it's crossed my mind, I'm like,
Hey, George, there's a vision. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Well, I can never tell if they are. They're so squinty anyways. So close your eyes. I'm giving you a vision. Hold on. Okay. Picture this. David Campbell without his wheelchair, spread out on a table, getting a Brazilian wax. Getting waxed.
okay,
He's not manscaped in 3 years.
okay.
Smells like hot dogs.
Well, now
Oh, I need a drink anyway.
I don't think he went to the U.S. for the casino because one, again, he can do that here. You know what I'm saying? And in the U.S., I don't think that they have women like flock at you and that kind of deal. Here they do. So I don't think he's in the U.S. for the casino. Just saying.
And Hank, you're right. Further down, he says you don't see too many overweight old people, and I think that's what's going on. I'm not trying to be weird. I'm eating. It may not seem it. I do a lot of things on air, but George was just saying that the other day. I ate probably 5 times as much in Mexico, and I probably eat like once a day, but I do the snacks. My snacks usually include some sort of sugar. I cut out on all the soda. I went down. I used to drink 3 of the sugary coffees, the 3-in-1s a day, and those calories added up quick. But the whole point is I thought I gained weight too, but it is extensive Cushing's disease from the steroids and my lupus, and I really am majorly bloated. Yes, I'm big, but I was really surprised I had lost the 18 pounds through the year, and it was like George was like, he thought so too, but no, I have not seen a big person that is up there in age. So am I counting on that as part of my situation? Yes and no, but I'm already cutting back. So this was a year that I started really, believe it or not, watching. I did really good this year. It's not like I sat around eating cake. And like in Mexico, we had pizza how many times a week? It was really easy ordering that up during the pandemic. Twice a week with the wings or something.
If that, maybe
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
James Marshall says Mr. Campbell's acting like a child.
I took that wheelchair. Hey, what's up, Mr. Hendricks?
Yeah, Studio says Philippines is cute. I need to go there one day.
Philippines is cute. I have never heard of the Philippines referred to as being cute. She either hugs you or spits you out. It's I think people either love it or hate it. A lot of them come for the finances and the ladies. Today's topic was going to be about homeless, which technically David being over there, that could be what's going on with him right now. But yeah, it's something to look into for each individual for sure. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. John says Tony Manning is always about the money. Tony Thatcher says no guy inspired by Mark Twain in his late 70s, disabled, grumpy, gets $1,000 a month disability check. Wants an 18-year-old Filipino wife. Wants to know the poorest province to find one.
You talking about regular guy?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't.
It
don't do
can
that.
be done. I want to talk about a guy that I was going to do the topic of. It's a guy and his wife, and she's over 40 and having a baby. We don't know a whole lot about the channel, and he's over. There's still a 20 or 25-year age gap, but she's over 40. And I'm going to have you say what you said about what's going to happen. And they're both over the age of 40, but he's 65 or 70. They run a pig farm. Looks like she does most of the work anyway. So kind of, he'll probably claim that he does or whatever. But we've only seen part of a video, and it just caught us because it was like, I'm having a baby, and I'm like, she's over 40. So that's really dangerous too, in a sense.
Well,
you said at least only
they're
one of
both-
them was in the Thornton clan.
They're both a little,
Okay, so yeah, George already had an opinion about it, but the whole thing is he advises people something about his pension is right off the top of my hand. I know it's under 1,000. So whatever's going on with him, the amount's either 7 or 8. He's out in the province. Yes, they sell the hogs, and this looks like it was originally her business. Was it hers before? Did he send her money during, whatever to build the business? Who knows? And they have other income, but it doesn't always work out like that where you're having a geriatric child, and that, things work out so well. But with him, with beer in hand and cigarettes in hand, constantly with his age and a kid on his way, he's liable to fall in that pit with that hog and get eaten up.
Yeah,
Lean left,
right.
lean right. It's like, oh my God, he's like drinking all the time, like on air and stuff. I'm like, what the heck? So the whole point is don't do what this guy does. Anyway, don't have geriatric child on both sides. Don't sit there and there's so many things. So yeah, it's just where it is. Next.
Yeah. Shane says a YouTuber from Terranceville Hall. His channel was based around filming himself doing charity work. Now he owns now I know who you're talking
True
about.
story.
A $2.5 million Ford Raptor truck and a resort. Why do they keep the most? Yeah, it's weird.
And it's we get that the P is doing well, and we like her channel, but we know it's scripted. We know the guys are sending tons of money. We know the white knights and the money's rolling in, but I don't think sitting down, like she showed everything that was there, and I was like, it's like, I bet you there's not $300 worth of stuff there, and she made 2,000 just in stickers, and then they send a bunch of money, and here she is, building this house, building that house, all the things she does, all of her trips around the world, and it's okay to finance and back a vlogger. I get it, but some of them you have no idea where the rest of the money, not the P, but others, is who I'm really referencing to, and that's what actually happens. They're actually, collecting and building. And did you take caffeine this morning? Like, did you drink some coffee and down the cafe?
Why? So, anyway,
you're looking extra Asian today, and you
always
got to
look
pull
at-
yourself
I
together.
always look Asian. I watch our old
You look
lives.
like Kirchin today.
I always look Asian.
Looking
'cause Guess what?
Kirchin.
I am.
You are.
Anyway,
Hey, you looking a little Kirchin
Shane
today.
Victor, you're correct. I questioned Terrence one time about the charity money. He instantly blocked me. Total scammer.
Yeah. You do know what Kirchin is, right?
No, what?
Korean Chinese Kirchin.
Oh.
That's like the dog you gave me.
Shane Victor says, and most of his subscribers he paid for bots. Look at his recent views. Now he gets like 1,000 views at most with 500,000 subscribers. Lol.
Yeah.
Again, usually your ratio is about 10% at the highest, 5% on average.
And the low end can be right now. YouTube gives between 2 and 5% as what the average has been without payment for advertisement. So if it falls at 2% is where yeah.
Yeah. Jose audiophile.
And then it's actually obvious when they do. So like some of our videos fall at 500 for our personal views, or 6 or 8 or 1,000 or 2, and it's like they're like, blah blah blah. You usually get 2 or 3,000, and it's like no. When people are doing that, they're getting 30,000 views, and it's like it's kind of odd.
Yeah, audiophilus grammaticus says, and to hell with those of us who want to piggyback on your success.
Okay, was that like an odd statement?
No, he was talking about when we were talking about the other vloggers. Or that was just
Yeah, but that wasn't a hell. I didn't see the statement. So
yeah. Anyway, no.
Oh, gotcha. No, I did mention that, and technically, no, it's that is fine, and I find it to be fair game too. So
Gio says most YouTubers in the Philippines have hundreds of accounts. Well,
just don't be those vloggers that turn
not
around
really,
and say,
but
"Hey,
some do.
they're doing the same," and it's like, okay, yes, we are, and we admit it. We don't sit there and try to pretend to be the uppeter of the ups, and we did other shit. So that's the whole point. Is we have videos where we did full expat help, just not building a house and doing this, and we've done more than just this. And in my opinion, y'all can suck it on this one. We've earned our badge somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Shane Victor says
we sit around for the rest of our channel and just do drama. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, if you do the research of charity help, he did his own wife's family members law. He got us all. Now, this is partially true. What I'm saying is, I do watch enough YouTube, and I do pay attention to the people around the YouTubers that donate. And if I see the same people over and over, and they donate to the same people, I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
do we know
this
who
isn't
they're
random.
talking about? Because
They're
I seen it. They talking about Mark and the gin thing when he collected money.
no, no,
Because
no, 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 no,
there was
no,
a whole thing about
no, no,
Mark.
no, no.
There was
This
a
is something else.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about Mark where
Yeah.
he collected, and this came from people
Oh
that were
no! I
involved.
mean, Mark wasn't very successful at that. Just saying.
Well, he collected for Monte Crew and never did take the money to the hospital, and that's
No, I
based on
understand that,
inside
but what I'm saying
sources.
is,
And so there were, and I don't know if he did it for Jewel. There were a few stories out there, so I didn't know if you were
right.
talking
No,
about
he's
he
not
did
as
it and then gave
successful
it
as
to.
this guy. No.
Ah,
Again, but what I'm saying is, there are a lot of YouTubers out there that donate like gift bags and stuff like that, and I pay attention to the ones they give it to, and I was like, wait a minute, those are the same people in his other videos. I'm like, that's family.
And that's another thing when I'm sitting there thinking about the drama side of it. Don't give us the side drama and do all this extra stuff that is a lesson to be learned or a remembering moment to actually do that part of the channel. Oh my God, Mark, then Jen should have kept that shit off air. Period. She should have kept, allowing the guy to post a video because she knows the guy that posted the video of the funeral, part of the funeral. And the whole thing is if you guys are doing it, don't whine that it is covered later. Now, doing extra stuff to cause extra problems on the side, like I'm not even going to get into that part of it, but it's them putting that out, it's, you know, it's just where it is. So don't cry that you got talked about or on air or whatever else, and then blah 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 blah. It's not like you're a sewing channel like we always talk, and then we just went in and just started saying, "Hey, the blue thread that you used last week just looked like crap, and your business is gonna don't nobody buy anything from them." It's not that situation. And there are channels that do that.
GDR says he will have no problem getting a young wife. Just tell him to show up anywhere in the Philippines, and he will find many potential young wives right away.
Who are we talking about?
I think that he's talking about David. I think because it has nothing to do with this other guy, Terrence. Aaron, no, okay.
Well, you can if you already put it up. Go ahead, or
Well, they're talking about again, Terrence like showed up in the Philippines totally broke with very small pension, starts a charity, and now super rich high roller. Yeah.
I don't. I have a few opinions about that man, and you're actually technically wasting time right now.
Oh,
That was the weirdest couple ever as far as the amount of money and the legal issues and all this different stuff, the building of the resort,
well,
the tax situation. Yeah. So I don't.
James. Well, yeah, Jimi Hendrix says David is most likely gambling.
Shekels, everything TV, including the kitchen.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great name.
John Hobbs says she's wasting her life dealing with him. She must feel like she's doing penance or something. I don't get it.
I'm sure that's what it is. But I mean, we know that she bites back, so we know she's got backbone for sure, which is good. I'm sure she stands up to David, but there's a limit, like for the Filipinas and all of that. I'm sure it's actually going on. So, but that must be what she's thinking, or a lot of people just believe in staying in the marriages. So, but there's limits and things that'll break. But I'm sure for her, there's many reasons. There's sometimes multiple reasons. So.
First Dave says, hi, George and Heidi. Everyone, Happy New Year. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. So was he talking to somebody else?
Who's he?
Well, scroll up a little bit.
Well, I wasn't. I'm already past that.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was just checking something. Maybe she let him take the wheelchair so he'd never come back. Could be Tony. Tony.
I love you guys. You guys are hilarious. Oh, dang. GDR says, but where would Mark Thornton get the money for Viagra? It's like $10.
And that's another thing. Some of the big vloggers and other people said, "Oh, people are so shameless," and the comments that are being said about Mark and all the jokes and all that. It's like the guy put himself on air along with this woman, and some of the things that was evident that he talked about, and he did his own life on air, and how he covered Dexter in that fight and put all that on air, and then all of a sudden, because the man passes away, everybody, the jokes are supposed to stop and everything's supposed to be buried based on this and that. No, this is the digital age, guys. It doesn't stop. People be talking about my ass for 10 years after I'm gone. Everything. How loud my mouth was, how big I was, all that. This is the thing you realize all the way around, but it was weird talking about the people with the shameless comments and the jokes and all that. And I'm like, yeah, but even that person knows who Mark is.
Yeah.
But just won't say. We get it. You're not going to get that here. George, you might partially, but unfortunately, you can't stop this train, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It's like all of a sudden, it's like I get the statements that are being put out as a brand, and because they share, a lot of them share Mark Thornton things. We share Mark Thornton viewers, but I don't care whether they watch or not. That's the big difference.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess we can buy some more viewers or something, but it's,
No.
to replace the ones that want to drop out. Who knows? That's just the new game right now. It's all don't hate don't hate the player, hate the game. But it isn't like that. Don't hate the gamer that is playing the game, that knows about your game, that's calling you out on the game. Just hate the one that's hitting that door.
Anyway,
What's that about?
nothing.
What's
Well, DDR is probably in the Philippines because that's actually almost spot on how much Viagra costs here. It's like about 560 pesos, something like that. It's almost to a T, $10. Yeah. Shekel says, call smoothly. He knows how to locate David. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Here's hold on. I would like you. I have.
What's that? All right. Well, I
You don't
guess.
have to.
George, if you were married to her Evangelista, will you leave her because you need space? When you have someone, you don't need space. You have to respect one another. Okay.
Yeah. It
First
is a
off,
reference to David
I didn't
Campbell
say
leaving.
I would. I said, in theory, maybe David would. Okay. It doesn't mean that I have a theory of what other people's behavior is. It doesn't mean that's my behavior. If that makes any sense. Because again, for example, when I analyze somebody, for instance, Mark, I analyze Mark as a very, very highly organized guy. So organized, it's painful. People who know him will probably say, "Yeah, that's him." But what I'm saying is that doesn't mean I'm that type of person. I'm actually not an organized person. I'm gonna be honest with you right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean I say something. It doesn't mean that's what I am. It's not like, I speak, therefore I am. No. I analyze people. I'm really good at it. But anyway. Um Dan says I went to America for a heart valve replacement in August. Fantastic trip. Medicare B plus. Medigap Plan N is fantastic. TVR is a great success.
I don't even know what Plan N is.
It's
Never heard
usually
that.
when done in America, no problem travel.
Gotcha.
I only $300 out of pocket total. U.S. expats should keep their Medicare heart procedure in the Philippines. Very expensive
It can
for
be
self-insured.
minimally. It used to be 20 or 30,000 US, but it's went up since a couple years ago. So yeah, you could be looking at 100,000, 200,000 US or more, and that's just me like guessing if it's a double or quad bypass. Everything will actually cost. We get it. So yes, having a plane ticket home and keeping your Medicare is a good idea, and that's only if you're able to get there. So
Yeah. Hank Landoval says maybe hop from along. Right. That's the word hop. They call them hops. When you ride into these military vehicles for free, they call them hops. That's what they're called, hops. And Olongapo, well, he's had to go to Clark because, like I said, Olongapo isn't what it used to be
well, they're
anymore.
talking about the airplane.
Right. No, I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. That could be.
Yeah. Sarah says David Campbell is,
Yeah.
oh damn, use up old fart. No cure for cancer coming from him. Who cares where he is unless she can't get in? Just safe. Oh yeah. Safe deposit box, right?
That doesn't make any sense. Then why would he have VA? It says David doesn't qualify for military space a flight as he is not retired military. Then why is he at the VA?
Well, obviously he is.
Right. So that's why I was wondering.
I mean,
Maybe they meant dealing in the Air Force direct or something.
I don't think he revealed. Wait, he did reveal which service he is. I just forgot.
Maybe it depends on the branch. I don't know, but I don't know that.
No. It doesn't matter whether you're a Marine or Navy. No, you can have a hop. Yeah.
Well, then if that was true, then I have a lot of military family. Why aren't they using that to travel? That's
because it's not comfortable. You fly in usually uncompressed aircraft, which is not very comfortable at all, and it's very noisy. You sit like a soldier and travel like a soldier. So no, I mean I get it.
Yeah.
V. Chris Monk says retired through disability, VA just for veterans, do not qualify for VA or just veterans do not qualify for overseas military humps. But 20 oh okay. But 20-year retirees do. So I guess the lifers, they call them lifers. Once you hit 20, you're called a lifer. But it's a pain to take them. Yeah, see, complicated schedules, etc. Yeah. Yeah, not only that, again, you basically travel like you're a piece of luggage. You just sit there and yeah. Um, Hank says, "Yo, I worked on an A-10 back in '81. Great plane. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The Warthog. You can fly with one wing. Anyway, well, a wing and a half and a prayer. Beakers Monks. Happy Saturday. Good morning. Um, DD214 says veterans who are rated by the VA as permanently and totally disabled can travel. Okay,
Oh,
can
well,
travel
I
space
totally
A,
missed that.
space available on military aircraft for free.
So Jen did post the memorial. So she's still putting everything out there about what's going on. So officially that was put out by that Tim guy. And so it looks like on his channel she's still uploading. So I'm assuming that she has all legal rights and that channel
she
is not
could.
tied
She
up
could.
in
Yeah.
well, maybe she does.
She could, yeah.
So
G Boone, dang, just came back from the deep in the Philippines for huh? Oh, okay. He's saying MILF, not MILF. He's saying MILF. That's why I have to reread it. Where MILF activity was just in the mountains on the horizon, scary, but I lived, or I guess survived somewhere.
they actually did it at
Yeah.
the house.
He's talking about the moral, more Islamic Liberation Front. It's a bad paramilitary organization here that you don't want to deal with. That's what he said. That's why I have to reread it. It's not MILF, it's MILF.
You know what I just realized? That the day she sat down and did that video was the day of the funeral. So she didn't even take a day off. That's the same black outfit that she was wearing when she sat down with the Flintstones.
Okay.
So she didn't even take a break. They went straight into saying they were taking over the channel, wanted to address basically the trolls. And she wanted to address about the Gcash and all that. It was
Well,
the
that
same
makes more
day.
sense. I was wondering why there's several people.
Yeah, there were people walking around. I
Yeah.
just thought maybe just randomly. So so see, to me that's kind of odd. That's the last thing she needed to do was to sit down and do a video saying, "Hey, here's this and that, and let me address how loving this and that." She should have been spending time with her kid and doing something else and not YouTube. And then she wants to be upset that people are talking about it. So it was really odd.
Right.
So I guess there it is.
B. Chris Monk says good morning and happy holidays. Black Grandpa says David claims Rose is the meanest person he has ever been with. She isn't so nice off camera.
There's Mr. Flintstone and a few friends.
Hendrick says maybe David went to the Chicken Ranch, world famous brothel. There you go. B Free says David said he is not rated 100%. Yes, there's a rating on your disability. And
Yeah,
that again, like determines your pay grade and your treatment when you're retired. PNT disabled per VA. I'm not sure how many years he actually served. Learning to Live says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. All right, thank you so much for Learning to Live. Eric White says Rose is using David for a steady check. Eric Sherman agrees. Eric Sherman says she's just there for the money.
1 second here.
Jack Doe says Rose can get 100 guys. Shane Victor says, I don't think Rose is using David for a steady check. It's a trade-off. David is also using her as a caretaker,
Oh, no doubt.
maid, cook, etc.
He made out. No, she really is a saint on that. That is no doubt.
Okay, now I kind of disagree with you, Black Grandpa. Black Grandpa says Rose has gotten used to living in David's Western style home with modern appliances and doesn't want to go back to her chicken coop home. I kind of disagree with that because the only reason why I do is because the stuff that she does. I mean, you have to pay attention to the things she does. I don't imagine Rose as one of the expat wives that once they get married, all they do all day is go to the mall. You know what I'm saying? She's not one of them. And because she's not one of them,
No.
she could care less about the Western lifestyle.
No,
She-
she spends time. She said that the house out in the province or the one, whatever's up the road or wherever they're in the mountain, was her. She said this is David's house, which by law, there's no way that that's David's
Right.
house. I mean, maybe he built the house that was on the land. He went through all that dispute and everything, but she made it clear. I think they were technically at some point living in separate houses, still do.
Yeah,
or
it's
something's
possible.
going on.
I'm not saying
But
that's
no,
what's
I
going
don't
on,
get
but
that from Rose.
well,
that
now
she's
they
about-
are, according to her.
I don't think she's into.
But I don't
more
think she's
comfortable.
into that.
No, I don't think
Again,
so
like I
either.
said, I don't see her as one of the ones that. Again, I don't think she married for money. I really don't think so. And because if she did, she wouldn't even be there. I'm going to tell
And
you
she
right
probably could have gotten somebody else. That I
Correct.
actually believe is a legit
now.
relationship.
She wouldn't deal with it. She can.
That's the vibe I
You,
get.
you guys already said it. She can get 100 guys easy if she wanted to, but she's not because she's not that kind of girl. She's solid. She's very patient. I tell you what, she's extremely patient. And again, it's I don't see it in her. I don't see it. I mean, does she want attention? Yeah, of course, everybody does.
Yeah, I mean,
She's still a human being. But she's not. Again, I can't. I just don't. Shane says it costs him 10 times more for a caretaker maid cook in the USA. Correct.
Mhm.
True. This is true. Hold on. I'm looking at the connection. I didn't see it yet.
New Year's Eve.
Hold on.
No, Sarah said, "What if the husband is mentally impaired?" She might be referencing to when I was talking about David. No, there's possibility that I think a lot of the expats here have some level of mental impairment. They may deny it, whether it's anxiety, which I have anxiety. I was ADHD as a kid. There's some level. People are in denial that they got one level or another. I think a lot of the expats here do have something going on. It's possible David had something going on the side, even if it was depression over his, being sick and, bedbound part of the time, that kind of thing. So if that's what you were, talking about, yeah.
Eric says David needs to go live in the U.S. retirement home and give up his passport life. Black Grandpa says David seems to burn every bridge where he goes. That's why he's alone and no one can count. Count on. I guess you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
Eric Sherman says power of attorney.
Yeah.
Hey Salem, how are you doing? Salem the realtor says, just my opinion, maybe something deliberate, calculated, yearly,
Oh,
periodically. What's that?
broadcasted.
Oh, broadcasted. Just saying. But he typed broadcasted with the dollar sign.
Yeah, I mean, she did mention it, and I get it. So
No,
we understand it's part of the YouTube. YouTube doesn't pay.
Yeah.
She's not. The most of the work she's doing is with her family or otherwise who couldn't use money. Guys are going to give it up, and I hate to say it, with the other ones giving up all the money to the other one, she knows they're giving up money to the others. I know they're giving up money. I'm either people are going to ask or they're not.
Now, is it staged for YouTube? I don't think so. I don't think.
No, I think they're just using
Yeah.
what's going on.
I don't
like a
think it's
lot of the
staged
guys
for
do.
YouTube. Okay, now some of you may say, why is the timing always this year? Why do you think that is? Well,
The end of the year, he just had it. It's been another year.
maybe David just wants to escape literally
Hey,
Christmas.
chosen one.
Maybe he wants to escape Christmas because guess what? Christmas comes along with all those relatives around him.
Oh, she was referencing to the excuse from his marriage in the Phils. If the
Let's go,
husband
Paul.
isn't a, you better get out of my face.
Let's go, Paul.
No,
See?
not today.
Now imagine a bunch of relatives doing that to him. That's possible as he's actually escaping Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. That it's could be everything.
Yeah, I
between
know,
the
but-
noise, New Year's. I've talked to a few expats about
No,
that.
and it's stressful. It's stressful because strangers you've never met will walk up to your gate and ask for money.
Mhm. So yeah,
It's possible.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying it's possible. Hey Rob, how you doing?
we just gave out our last gift bag thing that we were talking about because we give one out. Our trash guy that comes through, we gave him money, but we had 2 bags left, and we've been looking for him the last couple of days. And this is a guy, kind of like the P said, we give him out to the ones that really look like they're needing it situation. And I was happy to see him today because I thought we were going to be holding on to that gift spaghetti bag, and I was ready to spend his money.
Okay. Some of you may think that's kind of overkill on the spaghetti, but trust me, Filipinos love spaghetti. So
Yeah, we have all kinds of little things in those bags.
yeah.
So
Shane Victor's,
coffees,
yeah,
noodles.
yes, and little fudge cakes, lava cakes. Shane Victor says true about David. My dad had Alzheimer's disease during his last few years. He got mean and attitude. No. It's mental disability again. When you go to Alzheimer's or anything like that, they get mean.
And
Yes.
with the stroke and everything, that
Correct.
in itself,
Behavior may
according to him,
change.
it was at least 5 or 8. I don't remember. I know it was over 5, but he's had, and it's going to come along with it neurologically. And then add in, even if you're just old and cranky and you're getting up there, in age, there was a lot going on, but there's a limit for, a person.
Yeah. Lou says, George, new year, new wife.
Right.
Yeah. On that note, Heidi will be going to Las Vegas next year.
I think he was referring to the evangelistic, and honestly asked me if I care. That is the truth. If the boy wants to go, he can go. I spent X amount of time, in relationships where you go through those stages of please stay or don't go, or vice versa. I'm out the door, don't go. And you go through that when you're younger and different things, and you're supposed to fight for your marriage. And believe me, I would. And you can evidently tell that she's doing her thing, but there's limits. You're supposed to stay to the end. You just don't run out on a marriage. I mean, it's so it looks like she's hanging in there. So, but the whole thing is if George wants to go at this point, he can go. I don't know. See, that's what I mean. She did it again. But I tried to pretend like I was opening up the back door, but that's what the front door looks like. The dog tends to scratch at the back door or the box.
Like I said, she's probably looking for
siblings. She thinks there's puppies.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she probably does.
I think so too, but she didn't really do it here when the box wasn't there. She still dug at the door. That's what I mean. The boxes. So I don't know. I just maybe she's looking for.
Probably resembles the old door that she used to live in.
So,
Jim
yeah,
says, I
Hi,
think this is
sweetie.
regarding Mark Thorin. It's a trust fund with no money.
I thought trust. I'm not an attorney. We said that the last time. We said it was a topic conversation like today. And the trust I thought was literally where it was set up in a bank and it was a trust of, but I guess in reading, just perusing through stuff, it does deal with some properties and stuff. And who knows what the full deal is. I don't know where the YouTube channel lies in that and her changing all that over. I know she's evidently handling issues because she's taking over the channel and changing things. But it's good that he made some arrangements. I'm not even denying that. So she really, it looks like he did do some more than some people thought. So
Yeah, still waiting says, I hope the doctors can fix him. I hope so too. Rob
Nice.
Sullivan says, Rose made the comments about not asking for money when the people were sending her money.
She did it several times in her live stream. And then I just noticed in that letter that I read that she pinned, she said the same thing. I'm not asking. It was the exact words. But we have seen her say that in her live streams. The last time when they broke up last year, she used the exact same lines. And so I hate to say it, it's genius. I am not going to take that as that was just coincidence. When you say the same line like that, and then you actually put it in your thing, it's weird. You don't have to say that. Just don't say it. So it's a great way of bringing in money, and that's not hate. It's genius. So get that money, girl.
Yeah. Now, Shane Victor, this is true.
No snacking.
Shane says if you're living in the Philippines long term and married to a Filipina and older, one thing you can do while you're alive is buy a couple funeral plots. That helps out. Oh, that helps out tons before you die. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
Mutt got her new haircut. She's still in a teddy bear cut. Here, give her a kiss, Dad.
Hank Sandoval says, yes, you're right. We all have our vices.
Hi. Hey, pretty girl. Hey, Mary. Hi. What are you doing?
Hey, California
You're
Bear.
getting bigger,
Good morning,
aren't you?
everyone.
Not much bigger, but you're about 6 months old now, but your tail's getting thicker. Got your German jersey on for your German soccer team already.
Vanga Boy McGee says, stop talking about Rose. She is a good wife to him. She just had it with David, not listening to what she has saying. She tried everything, but he did it his way. Well, here's the funny part. Again, like,
Go sit down somewhere, White Knight Defender,
that's the
because
thing.
nobody's really
Not
said not one
one
person.
bad thing was said about Rose,
And not in the comment section either.
Somehow here's some guy defending Rose for no reason. It's like,
so that's a double White Knight Defender.
Yeah.
That's just swinging in all directions. No, this is not the case. So actually, we think she's a saint, and really for going through that, here's the thing. You're never going to give people 100% all the time what they're looking for. If we were being super nice about David, you guys would complain about the one thing. If we said this about one thing, you'd be doing it. If we were doing all expat help, you guys complained about that. When we were doing our personal life, the whole thing is I don't care anymore. And I know George has said the same.
okay.
Is that you guys are just those that are actually butthurt taking offense are the extra sensitive ones that just are too sensitive. So it's,
Now, Black Grandpa said, now I've heard of this. I don't know if I've heard it or watched it. It's been a while. Black Grandpa said, when David first met Rose on their first date, Rose made a move on David's friend, but he turned her down. So from day one, David never trusted her, but married Rose anyway.
Yeah, there was some things. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I remember this. I just don't remember the source. It's been.
And she said he had jealousy issues,
old, yeah,
and it could have been something. Yeah, that's but I cookie face.
D. Grant says, "How is David missing? Because nobody knows where he is, and that's the definition of missing.
Still, nope.
Nobody knows where he is.
Missing? Even his wife can't find him. He hasn't returned a call, so he is missing.
Last time he went to Vegas,
and he doesn't have a home.
But he vlogged about it, so everybody knew where he was. This time he's just.
And he hasn't contacted his wife.
Correct.
She just did a live less than 48 hours ago, and she says that, and the family doesn't want anything to do with him, so he's not staying there. And the few friends that he knew are,
Yeah, he's just AWOL.
and so he went back for medical. So technically, yes, because if he was, she would be telling the people by now.
Right.
She's using it as content. It's helping her financially. Everything is all good, but she's reported no David. And the last time he went to the U.S., it was really bad. Like the situation of the casino and the flight back and her having to go get him is something for sure that you guys need to be aware of. Is once you have medical issues and then you try to fly back, a lot of these guys burned their bridges or had no places to live or nobody to stay with. It's hard to go back. It's really expensive in the U.S. after living here and then being, with limited money. A lot of guys make that mistake of not making any plan like that whatsoever. So,
Yeah. Now for those newcomers in the group, just so you guys know, again, some of you are new here. My beloved wife here is Heidi. And where are you from?
Gilligan's Island.
Okay, she's from Gilligan's Island, which is America. And I'm actually born and raised here in the Philippines. However, I did live in the West for 27 years. So I'm very well versed in the culture over there.
Yeah.
But I'm Filipino. I'm born and raised there. The reason why I'm
In
saying this,
Angeles City.
because some of you are wondering and asking. So that's where I'm from.
Yeah, because we live, and we've told people, we're in the Mabalacat area. We're about a mile from Walking Street. We're about a mile or so from the airport. And most of our time is spent in Angeles City. George was born and raised in Angeles City. And this is the area we're around. So Mabalacat City or Mabalacat is actually considered. At one point, they talked about the areas that were considered Angels, but I'm not going to go through the graphic part of it. But yes, this is the area we're in, because if we try to explain exactly the area we're at, it's kind of like, it's a popular area, but it's not at the same time. So a lot of people, oh, Angel City. Yeah, because we're always in Angel City, whether it's our grocery.
Well,
it's not like we're driving 10 miles to go in town.
it's just
or
right
out in the
there.
middle of nowhere.
It's literally Filipino walking distance. But
Walking distance for
just to
me.
make it easier for you guys, for those of you in the West, you guys ever heard of Disney Orlando? There is no Disney Orlando, guys, because Disney is not in Orlando. It's in Kissimmee. The
So
same
they
thing.
always say
The
Orlando.
Clark Air Base is not in Angeles, even though they say Clark, Angeles City. A lot of times, it's not. It's in Mabalacat.
Right. And same with the airport, correct?
That's what I just said.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. The airport's not in Angeles City. It's in
Right. So we always
Mabalacat.
reference it. So yeah,
Right.
this is.
Well, and again, it's kind of like Dumaguete vloggers actually don't live in Dumaguete. They live in Valencia. But anyway,
Not
being-
everybody stays active. It says, I have plenty of friends who are chubby with pot bellies. We're in our 60s, but we stay active. A lot of walking helps. It does, but there's a limit. Like for me, I've needed knee replacement for quite some time for multiple reasons. And with my asthma and being out in the sun, and I'm limited to being outside. So I do try to do things in the house as far as activity and outside activity. At some point, I've used a wheelchair part-time. I still do use it when I have issues, but I haven't had to use my wheelchair in how long? 6 months, maybe?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, but for the most part, I do. And there's a market that's up the street, and I try to, but not all expats are super active here. So they wouldn't be active in the US. That, again, another inspiration for the other channel is that most expat or most people, if they didn't come to the Philippines, wouldn't have been active in their retirement at home. You've done most of your stuff your entire life.
No,
A lot of
most
people-
retired people I know just sit there and play Candy Crush. I'm not even making that
Well,
up.
or just other things like my grandparents. They were healthy people and they took walks after dinner, but they weren't out there, traveling the world. They already did all that stuff, kind of like us. We did a crap load of stuff before we left and went to Mexico first.
Yeah.
So, but you should stay active. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that actually helps for multiple reasons. Boredom. You just don't want to sit around because, it messes with your circulatory and there's a lot of things. So, but
Yeah.
a lot of the guys don't.
Hey Laura, how you doing? Hi you too. I think
Hey,
David.
Laura.
Now this is a very interesting thought.
I
I
have
think
to-
David
I have to.
wants to feel wanted and missed, and his wife wants to feel valued and respected. Correct. Megan says, yeah, David's on board time.
You're going to continue to laugh.
Patricia says, I think Philippines should require a man over 50 to have a vasectomy in order to get retirement visa. There you go. Yeah, Joe Shabatine says I'm extra Asian. There you go. No, again, I watch our lives. Usually I'm squinted, and it's just like, oh well, I guess I am. Laura says, I do not like. Now this is true. I do not like how the P panders to men, insulting American women, Western women. I think as women, we can share a cross cultural sister. No, I get it. There is no need to talk crap about other races per se.
Oh, anyways, let me get to the naysayers on the tax situation of the guys collecting the Social Security checks for their kids after they pass on, or why they do it now. It is very rare in the US guys collect those checks. Mostly it was put towards grandparents that were raising the kids and this and that. And you're never going to satisfy somebody all the time. So be ready to twist in your seat. The same guys are probably the ones that complain about the single mothers getting checks in the United States for the welfare, like when they used to get the food stamps and all that. And those programs, I believe, when a couple years ago, they were still limited. They had to go get jobs. You can only stay on it. You can only do it 2 or 3 years. Every state is different on that. Them are the same guys that don't mind these guys. I get you'll say it's tax money for Social Security and they paid into it. Mark did not pay in 18 years worth of money to pay his son to be raised on that money, even at $400 a month. The whole point is Mark was expected to pass. Most guys pass away and only collect Social Security somewhere between 6 and 8 years, maybe 8, 10 tops. Same guys that have problems with certain politicians and all this, you're never going to satisfy these people. And the same ones are like, oh, well, they're just collecting welfare and they don't deserve this. There's men and women raising kids. There are men collecting welfare checks that are trying to raise their kids because their woman is either in jail or abandoned her kids. But the whole thing is it's about the taxpayer money all the way around. And a lot of people, we've heard comments about Jen collecting that check for him and that she knew about it. Mark had discussed that. Mark had discussed that with other people about collecting the check for the son. They knew it was coming. It was one of their backup plans for her after the fact that he would pass away or during. Yeah, but them are the same people that are okay with one thing and then not the other. You're okay with Jen collecting a check for 18 years or because I'm talking about I'm disabled and all that. Yeah, I worked inside my entire life and I'm going to collect my check. That's the whole point. She never even went to the US, and there's a lot of people that are talking about that too. She never even made it to the US. A lot of these women that are here have been like Brian. Went to the United States. She worked. She earned everything.
She qualifies.
She deserves, qualifies, and all that. And they're still. And don't talk to me about it because they're talking about cutting that out. So because I'm talking about it, that kind of, once you're just irritated with me. Period.
Well, it doesn't mean that you don't want to hear it. Doesn't mean it's not real.
Yeah, but evidently the U.S. government's reconsidering that situation because there's so much going on overseas now in other countries. And I'm not. Here's the thing: even though other people have heard me talk about this that have those wives, they're not upset with me right now. I still feel it's a personal level that they all get upset. It's like one person this and next person because they understand where my point is coming from all together. Yeah. So, well, 1 second. I just wanted to bring around that point. I get the topic, but what I'm saying is that same people, no, they don't want to hear the truth. And commercial break, but go ahead.
Okay, Jim, just real quick, let me tell you something about the pizza.
Oh man,
All right, I found pizza in the Philippines hit and miss, mostly miss. Let's be honest. It's not even a hit and miss; it's mostly miss. The reason why it's mostly a miss is because by default, Filipinos like their pizzas soft.
and they don't use real cheese on most of them. Now you'll get places that have it, that's for sure. But like Landers does a good pizza, but we couldn't get them to cook it. They took it back a second time, and it still came back partially soft. They just don't. It's got the good sauce on it. It's got real cheese, and it's good for the price, and it's a big pizza. But they just don't want to cook it no matter what. So most of it's soft. But they do have. They've still got a Domino's that's almost spot on for the U.S. The Pizza Hut is almost spot on, but they still leave them half uncooked. We've received raw pizzas from both places. They just don't want to. We like crispy. They like soggy. That's where it is on that.
Now this is true.
No, I just
Shane Victor
think
says,
it's
yeah,
commercial.
Filipina P is making tons of money, not coming from YouTube ads.
Oh,
She has a
sure.
ton of male simps supporting her.
And I guess there's nothing wrong. You guys are the one giving her money. You know, in the beginning when I talked about her and everything else, it was, oh, you're just jealous. And no, she knows how to play the game. There's nothing about jealous. I'm just talking about her in general. So, but she puts a lot of the charity part on air, and so do others. And to me, you just don't do it. Have you guys seen us give away ice cream or a few bags here and there? Yes, but we're not going to sit there and do that, nor do we expect somebody to give us only money for doing that. She knows that. It happens every year they drop that money. I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys would drop literally 500 US into our sticker money just from the previous video that George did, every year I'd make sure he attended a funeral. There it is, $500. It's true. People continue to do stuff. You get my point, my drift. They did it last year, and if they did that, that means there's tons of PayPal, Gcash, and she's got it going on. That's how she could afford. That house costs way more money than she put in that thing, but I get it. I just disagree in that much charity being put on air, especially being married to a Muslim prior. That's the first time I learned that when you do things, you do that for sure and quiet. We get that she's on air, and I said we're YouTubers and all that, and it's content. Her doing the thing of giving away the businesses and the houses, maybe, but to show yourself with a bunch of the food, getting the bags, and going down the street to strangers that didn't know they were going to be on camera and just laying it on them like that was, she knows what she's doing. She's known it from the beginning. She learned from all the guys over there in the beginning, and she's honed in on her skills and the editing part and all of that. And, she knows what's going on.
Yeah, spam Gcash.
Speaking of that, we're going to keep me on
somewhat part of the timeline during Christmas time. I know it sounds weird when I say this. A lot of Filipinos don't have smartphones. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making it up. A lot of Filipinos have flip phones. There are a lot that also have smartphones, but I'm saying don't assume everybody has a smartphone. I mean, it's not like the U.S.
You about ready to trigger me.
Okay, right, correct. Now, you're like, what are you talking about? What does this have to do with the subject?
Yeah.
Well,
because you did that the other.
It's Christmas time. You know what that means? A lot of people will walk up to you and ask for money. Now, okay, what does this have to do with Gcash? One of the default things that most Filipinos give an excuse. Really, I'm not making this up. One of the first excuses that most Filipinos say, "Do you have Gcash?" And then the guy asking the money says, "No, I don't." Well, it's all the money I've got, man. It's Gcash. So if you don't have Gcash, I can't give you any money. I'm not making that up. That's actually one of the first go-to excuses. When somebody asks for money, they say
think it'd be that high. I would probably say 20% don't have.
Well, I'm just
I'm
saying.
always seeing Filipinos on these smartphones.
Well, you're seeing the ones,
even the poor ones.
Well, again, pay it. Okay, again, I
Yeah,
get,
I know what you're
I
about
get
ready
it.
to say.
I get
know
what you're
about-
looking at, and I get what these people that you're looking at. I get it, but trust me, I'm just saying.
Hmm,
Don't assume that everybody has Gcash.
which is irritating because that's how I wanted to pay our trash guy, and that just wasn't going to
I already
happen.
knew he doesn't. I mean,
And
you'd be surprised. You'd
I
be
probably
surprised.
mentioned that to you 2 months ago, and then I mentioned that I discovered that's the way I could, and then you never answered about it. So thank you for your help.
Well, it doesn't change the fact. I mean, I'm not
You could have
him.
said that.
I'm
I
not.
think we knew that already.
Okay, it doesn't change the. I mean, either way, I'm not responsible. Doesn't matter whether I said that I think he doesn't have one. Keyword, I think. Kind of like the Korean dairy lady. I don't think she has one. You know, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Hey George, how you doing? Hi, George and
Happy
all.
New Year.
R says good morning, George and Heidi.
I don't know what kind of pizza I'm gonna have to do.
Oh, I see. I see what you're talking about now. I was wondering what you're talking about. Jim Moody says cruise ship. FX Trader says Gio spent 15 minutes explaining what's wrong with Dumagetti. He
I
did.
think he did the same, even on the same day as he talked about Mark. But here's the thing. I've heard him say things about Dumagetti, but until he broke up with his woman, he didn't mention all the bad things. All of that flips with the vlogger. So
Yeah.
So he's actually was talking about how, the traffic, the smog, like all of that. He never said a whole lot about that before. I just think it's because he was just leaving. So it's
Right.
he wasn't giving that when he was trying to make it look beautiful a couple years ago. But now that he's leaving, it's like I'm living here and I'm gonna tell you what's wrong with it now.
Well, sadly, it's a lot of YouTubers do that. They talk crap about places where they used to live when they're leaving, but while they're there,
like
they have
politics,
nothing. Yeah, nothing but nice things to say.
Hey Sarah, good morning.
Yeah, Lara says the dead cannot defend themselves. Fair enough. Gary Johnson, we did mention this price earlier. Actually, one of the viewers said the price is about average 560 pesos. Thora says yes. Hey Thora, yes. Like Heidi says, Rose is awesome. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And again, she has a lot of patience.
Yeah, another one that says they can understand, but part of the time we're turned to the side anyway, so that's fine. They say that, so maybe you can, so then maybe you know.
Cleo Craig says, I've never heard of this Campbell couple, but they sure define opposites attract.
Yep, it's true. But what's even worse is when you have a lot of things in common, that also can cause issues too, more than I actually thought. Opposites attract to some extent, or things that you have in common, and they're like, what could have went wrong in that relationship? A few of the other things is what goes wrong. Yeah.
Gary John says military hops are inconvenient, hard to get on. You can get bumped at the last minute. You have to stay on top. It's not easy. Chosen One says, hey, Chosen One, how you doing, man? All these single wives running around. What a pity. I'll take Maya, you guys. You can have Jen and Rose.
snap.
Oh, damn, he would.
Now I'm going to give you a free pass. Maya,
Okay,
Jen, or
okay.
Rose. The whole
No,
picture.
no. You have to remember that Jen and Rose. Okay, Rose is okay. Again. I don't know Rose personally. Sorry, Aching Rose. Hindi kita talagang kilala.
I'll tell you on the
I
male
think
side.
Rose again is more conservative, and then she's
The whole
she'll
package,
do
babe.
her
You don't have to.
online stuff. She cooks, cleans, that kind of deal, and she's very solid. Now,
Plus, you know a
Jen
few side facts.
Jen
So you
is
guys don't know
somewhat
everything.
okay. I'm not picking on anybody, but I think these are the spectrum. You have Rose, who's a solid patient caregiver type
Mary
person.
Kay, what
And
is it?
then-
Mary Kay, and
Yeah,
there's a game where you say
And-
what to do with them.
right. So there's Rose. Okay. Next, what step up would be Jen. Jen would be in the middle. She's kind of, she goes to the mall. She comes back. She, does household.
We're talking
things.
about looks. We're
Okay.
talking about what you feel about
And
them.
then you have Maya. Okay, which is the complete opposite. Which is Maya again.
does the
I don't know,
cleaning.
but I'm talking about from their YouTube
They all
personalities.
clean. They all.
Well, like I said, I'm talking about
Now you're down to looks and down.
Well, I'm not talking
to-
about looks. I'm talking about personality
Oh,
because
Jesus Christ, just answer for. I mean,
Heidi, I'm talking about chosen one because
talking about for you. I asked you who you were.
chosen one. Well, I'm answering chosen one first because again, it makes sense. He would choose Maya because she's an outgoing person that loves to go out and have fun and have a few drinks. Get it?
Okay. And now you.
I would pick Rose.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm an outgoing guy and stuff, but
And I would take Geo. So, you didn't even take me 2 seconds to say that. I definitely would have took that wheelchair a long time ago.
okay.
And,
Wow.
and Mark, there's
To
just no way.
complete the question that was never asked.
We'd have both been too stubborn.
That's
and
between
that'd have been it.
Campbell, Mark, and Gio.
It'd have been like a king and queen situation.
I mean, I hate
We'd
to
have
say it.
both
I
just been
mean,
in
if
other
I were a
rooms.
girl, I would choose Gio too. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, David. Just saying.
We'd have been both waiting for our rings to be kissed in ground zero. So we just wouldn't have got along whatsoever, me and Mr. Thornton. So it definitely been down to Gio just for whatever looks, attitude, advice, all of that. I was like, I'll take Gio. Not exactly but there it is.
Sarah says discharge doesn't equal retired. Sean says,
Oh, here. I forgot to. I pointed that out earlier. So.
Oh, thanks. Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Laura,
Wow.
Happy New Year to you. Have a very blessed Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel like I should eat the whole box of donuts now.
Yes, please do.
I can't.
He'll be eating hot dogs later. You can't eat the box.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was part of the show.
You're gonna break your teeth off in there, Gator boy.
I probably will.
Wow, you guys are more often. He'll be eating boxes.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that means I get to slap you 5 times.
Okay, I've always been curious what this one tastes like because it's sad. It has purple stuff on it.
Listen, it's like living with a 12-year-old, and for him, it's like living with his mother. That's the breakdown. And he's a great little guy. You're a great little dad and a great father, but you just keep doing your gaming and keep doing you and don't change.
That's called sarcasm.
A little bit. So
try a lot
I'm
of
busy
it.
trying to get your vitamins in you and all of that, and you're just busy living his best life. So yeah, okay. Oh, look, I left you a stick.
Oh, there's a lot of pro rose and pro rose here.
No, it's to be expected, especially, it's,
Chosen one says Space A is not worth it. You have to take a flight to Guam first, then to Cali. I can find. Oh, so you're literally hopping each time.
yes.
Makes
that's not
sense.
direct,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, yeah. And you're not guaranteed to get a seat. Rob
makes
says
sense.
Rose is sure earning the money.
Mhm.
There is a modern home at Rose's compound.
Yeah.
AC King says Rose is a country girl. I've seen her climbing trees and farming rice like she knows what she's doing. Well, that's the thing. It's not like she knows what she's doing. She does know what she's doing. Thor says, what money Rose wasn't getting any money when David left her last time. Right, that's right. Last time, no. Not worth the money to put up with crap like David. Oh, dang. Okay, and Thor is a woman, just so you guys know. So that's what Thor is saying about David.
Here's the thing, a lot of us at this age have been through multi-marriages, and I have. It's not always about the money. A lot of people go through that whole scenario about you marry for love, and then for me, it was over the first husband not really working or helping around the house, and you wait around 10 years and nothing changes, and how they interact with the kids. A lot of things changes why somebody stays in a marriage. And in the end, you really should stay and work through things. There's things that you really shouldn't deal with. But I believe through the thick and thin situation, and I believe Rose is that solid person. And I think she's got like the old fashioned values where one, she's got her entire family over there. So maybe they partially rely on some of that money. Maybe they're telling her no, stay with them, or as people did in the old days. Plus, with her being, Christian and everything, you're not supposed to abandon your spouse. And even if it's David, me and George have been through some rough times. We had some rough times in Mexico. I just didn't drive up out of Mexico and leave him there, or vice versa. Went to the store, dude.
That was a three-day drive, I guess.
It was well, yeah, it probably took about 3 days to get out of there, but that was one of the reasons. But in the end, for me, it would be that I would just miss George. I would like totally regret actually going back to the US and say, hey, this marriage is over. I'm not throwing in the towel over the simplest things. Now, I'm going to tell you what, in 2.2 seconds, he cheats on me, and that's it. But I'm staying here. I'll be going through your phone later, so prepare thyself.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay, well, then you don't mind showing that to me later. I know. So the phones are open, so I'm just messing with you guys on air. But in general, that would be my breaking point, is that. But here's the thing. We're both Cancer. We were both born in the same month, and we both have a certain way about life. Although George is way more outgoing than me, even in Florida, which I still don't think that you were born in July, but your rest of your profile shows that you are. All the sensitivities and intuition and all that, you fit still that homebound family person. But there's like this fire and ice thing that's actually between us. And again, there's that role of mother, caretaker, and I think Rose and David are going through that situation. But that would be my breaking point. But I know George isn't a cheater. So everything else I can deal with. I could take a beating. I could take if he slapped me or disappeared for 6 days or said the nastiest stuff. The words never stick for either of us. We try not to go to bed mad. So I believe Rose will stick in there no matter what. So what will be her breaking point? There's always a breaking point for a marriage. That's just, and even long term of putting up with something, there are marriages that never break up through the years that go through all of that long term. Marriage is work. It's severe work. And she is, again, I'm going to mention that saint section. That is for sure. So.
Yeah. I do have the
there's a lot of days.
Family reputation of being the outgoing one in our family. And by the way, just real quick, remember that lawyer that we dealt with?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We're kind of related.
The one that we hired, or the one at the office you went to?
The one that, what's his name, hired. We're related.
Okay.
Like his great grandmother and my great grandmother were sisters. So we're related. Yes, I'm not making it up. If I mentioned my mom's maiden name, he would have recognized it. I mean, my dad's.
Well, it makes sense because it's a big law firm here, and the original families are here, and so that makes sense.
Yeah, no, we're kind of related.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, Discerning Dash said, "Hey, Discerning Dash, thank you so much.
Good evening.
Appreciate you, man."
Filipinas want the kid because they want a mixed baby. Maya is one interview said she always wanted a mixed baby, and she lied to Gio and said she didn't want a kid. He wanted to reverse the vasectomy for her. Wow, he was going to have a
Wait,
kid
what?
for her?
What?
Interesting. Here's the thing. It slipped out that I'm just going to let you know, being as you mentioned that, Mr. Dash, I'm going to give you a little bit of tidbit. It was said that, yes, he wanted to stay in the relationship, but supposedly, according to rumors, information, comments, and insiders, okay, I have to say allegedly deeply, and I think I partially put this out anyways. It ended because supposedly there was some physical altercations, that she was a wild woman,
Okay, I was wondering what you were talking
and
about.
that she would stay up. I can't say what nights or where she stayed up, but the age gap made a difference. And I guess not a lot of Filipinas, but some Filipinas, they like their drinking. So let's just leave it at all of that. There was something, you know, whatever, and I will call it chismus. It's a matter of, could the truth be actually in there, and the other messages we get. I'm actually not going to say, but I'm just saying what is out there in the YouTube world is that it was, but I bet he probably did, but I don't know what he was thinking. Like Mark, he already had adult children, had one adult child that was already sick, and there's a lot of things to think about, but a lot of guys do it. But remember, when we have these topic of conversations, it's pretty much about that person, sometimes we say guys shouldn't have children after a certain age and all that. It's not always. There's the sauce right there.
No,
It's
how
not.
was it? It's not good. That's what
It's a
called.
freaking donut.
Yeah, I know. Those are expensive.
Stop buying the bread and stop buying the donuts.
That's not a bread. It's donut.
Mm-hmm. Well, despite all your donut and bread stuff, like I
Let
said,
them
I
eat
still
cake.
managed to get out of let them eat cake.
Let them eat cake. Joseph says Rose is still relatively young, 40.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah.
I remarried George after the age of 40, so it can be done. It's
Yeah.
and they've been together they've been doing their YouTube channel easily for about the same time we have. So they've got to be at least 5 years into their marriage or whatever, or so.
Yeah. Shane Victor says, I think she's
Really?
40, and yes, when
We've been
David passes away, Rose will have no problem with so many foreigner simps will be donating and hitting her up. No, true story. No, she won't have a problem replacing him. Sorry, David. She really won't. You know that.
And they all know that. So
Chosen one said, this is true. I remember when Rose and David wouldn't share his food.
Hey, don't worry about me, guys. George was like, "Are you afraid that the guys don't feel the same and lighten up the door?" I said, "No, I plan to be bitter and be alone."
Yeah. Now,
That's just
sharing
where I'm
food.
at.
Normally,
I would not go through dating and marriage. So if something happens to George, for those that keep asking, and we've addressed that on air before, that'd be it. I would just stay here, live here, and that would be it. I just,
Yeah.
Although I'm sure for a small amount of money, I could just get a trike guy to come over every now and then. But
that's
probably
great.
about the best scenario.
Yeah. Now, sharing his food, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Rose's relatives, again, occasionally go through the fridge and grab, whatever food is there, which is somewhat normal in the Philippine culture, just so you guys know, that kind of deal. Kind of like right now, there's a culture right now where during New Year they have the fruit. Filipinos have fruits and everything.
Right.
So usually if they have fruits on the table, you're free to eat them, except during this time when they're allocating those fruits for that good luck thing.
Right.
Yeah, they have to have 13 round fruits for the new year. You're not allowed to touch those fruits. Sartan says, I was referring to excuse from marriage in the Philippines if husband is nuts. There you go.
Yeah.
Hairwell says if it's possible to have a co-owner of a YouTube channel, maybe Mark has Jen listed as a co-owner.
Okay, there is a level. If like right now with the multiple channels that George has that he's licensed with and all these different things, then he is the owner and collector of the money on all the channels because he properly has everything in order. So it's possible that you're allowed to have a manager and other things are allowed to be added now. And there are people that manage channels, and they get a percentage of the channel, and they handle everything. So it's possible he already set all that up with her. Yes. So there are multiple levels. And that's what we were saying in the other live. It's possible that's what he already pre-did. Now it did used to say U.S. Now it says Philippines, and maybe that's what he did was make her co-manager. But she will still have to change the AdSense. That does not change that he's passed on, and I'm sure of this 100%.
Well, and
that has
like
to
I said,
change.
there's some background stuff
She
that she
can't
needs to
just
do.
keep getting the money based under his AdSense. Now, will she and can she? That's all a possibility. There's ways of getting around anything on Earth right now, but in general, she's supposed to legally change his AdSense, report that he passed. She will get the money as long as she shows the paperwork, but she has to switch everything into her name to keep, and then for the AdSense. And so, we wish her luck on all of that. It's fairly easy. She just has to go through a process.
Right. Shane says, I remember the video. She cooks this expensive food, but she's not allowed to eat it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So currently we have 6 channels that are under the management. Yeah. Your management.
Sarah says, I don't blame David dumping off. Though for Christmas, I would also avoid people asking for gifts. Correct. It's possible that's why he does it. Hey Victoria, how you doing? Good day, Heidi, George, Philippine Antics crew. Happy New Year to you all.
Hey.
Black Grandma says, I'm one of David and Rose's lives. Rose said David can't make kids. Think she meant he's important, and that would be rough for Rose at her young age. That's why David is so jealous of other men around Rose. Huh? Oh, impotent. I think she meant he's impotent. That's what. Okay. Okay. So Black Grandpa saying that he's insecure around Rose because he's impotent.
Aw.
Yeah.
Sarah sent some photos.
Aw.
Yeah.
Rob says, I'm with you, Heidi. If they want to go, they
It's
will
adorable.
go. And with me, they went. There you go. Sarah Titan says, Rose's eye says, finished.
It's a great photo.
Yo mama. Yo mama. In Spanish, it's pronounced as yo.
We say
like,
yo anyway.
Yo. J. Yo. Yo mama says, I met David years ago at his house. Difficult man. Rose is too good for him. She really cares for him. If she hits the market, she'll be a good catch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she hasn't been smashed in years. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow. Smash that roast beef. Anyway, Ronald Country Boy. Okay. George Gross. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, Ronald. Yeah, whatever. Emasculate you. You guys, we always said that you guys have no idea the full thing. And here's the thing. I'm just going to say it, being you bring that up in front of everybody and that passes. That's not the way it actually is. I mean, I might have just whatever. So I have to think about that.
The safety deposit box. Sarah Tan says, "Wow, Mark's
And
Beanie Babies."
that you know what? You're only like the third person in our entire 4 years of doing YouTube that said that. So my guess is the same person. What's that, MYK or a couple of these other guys? That's not just a random person again. They usually make the same comments.
Yeah, wow, Mark's Beanie Babies safety deposit box would look like a big buy-in. There you go.
Say, get it in the safety deposit box.
Undesirable expat says Rose is a frequent topic of discussion amongst us expats here in Zambales. Oh, really? You're in Zambales? Well, makes sense. It makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
if you live in Zambales, she's relatively in driving distance, so I get it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thora says there's always a complaint. Puck says, hope David brought some warm clothes to Vegas. I remember that video, him acting like a fool at the airport. Oh, right. Right. That's right. That was the last year one? Right.
Yeah, she did mention something also about this time with the clothes and everything that she was hoping.
Discern Dash says, has been so much expats and Filipino problems during the holidays. Wonder if expats will still come to
And
the
what
Philippines
has
for
looks
women.
got to do with anything, Ronald? Talking about don't let her emasculate you. So that's my point exactly for butt licks like you. I'm going to address you right now. It's okay if I looked a certain way and that I sit there and did that. Okay. There is evidently you don't know the full breakdown of relationships, but it was okay because she doesn't look like Bo Derek. Yeah, but my mouth does, and that's why he stays. So go ahead. So what the hell? Just because I don't look like Bo Derek, that's your damn opinion. So whatever. I
Oh,
mean,
Derek. Huh?
yeah, that's what he said. So that's an old dude. He went there. Bo Derek. That is definitely somebody older than us.
Oh, Derek.
Yes. But the whole point that I emasculate you, I get that frustrates people, and I really don't care. People don't live our everyday life to know the things that you do or I do. And however it actually goes, emasculate or not, there is no one position of anybody in this damn house. Okay? I cook, clean, and do everything else these little peas do around here. Okay? And I don't expect anything more or less like that. Okay? Just like praised all the Filipinas that do this, and that, but they can also be just as toxic. And you're the type that didn't want any of that ever put out. So, whatever. Bo Derek, huh? All right. Wow, he went there. Bo Derek. Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord.
Well, the reason why I say Bo Derek, there's nothing wrong with Bo Derek, but what I'm saying is, like,
I'm not going to sit there and suck your ass on air either. Sorry.
we're not
Shit
talking
happens.
about that. I'm just saying that, I mean, I don't even remember what Bo Derek looks like now. I mean,
Oh, wow.
what I'm saying is Heather Locklear looks horrible now, and she's not even that old. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, he's all the
yeah.
way around wrong. He just wanted a reaction, and you got more rawness.
Shane G says, I wish everyone a great New Year's Eve. Many of you have family plans, which surely include karaoke and booze. There you go. True story. Chosen One says, Gio
And
left
you
Dumagetti.
speaking
He's
out,
out of there.
him speaking out, he feels like he's some bad whatever. Sounds like Expat John to me, or one of those guys. But because you step forward and say that doesn't mean that you're not afraid to say something. You're just an odd man out at this point. And it's like, okay, heard you. You disturb for about a half a second, and you just look stupid at this point. So I'm sure that I can only imagine what's going through his head. Oh, I'm going to say something because other people aren't saying. No, actually, they know a lot of what we're talking about is the truth. The ones that are saying we're making stuff up or giving misinformation are the ones doing just that or trying to gain views on based on saying that. So none of those opinions matter. In the end, I know what's going on in this household. Okay.
I'm telling you,
Thanks for more content.
they should just send Jen a lump sum of $400.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know that there is a payment, then I think that's the amount for the funeral, whatever part of it. But I thought that went to the actual widow herself that is allowed to get those benefits. Do they pay that to a son? Those have to be applied for differently. So I don't think she'll get even that $400. I don't know. Could be wrong. But being she doesn't really qualify, I thought she qualified for the money to take care of the kid, but someone said she had to live outside the U.S. to get that part of it, not the benefits. If she would have been over 60 and married, blah, blah, all this time, she might have qualified. There was a small chance on that other part, but a bunch of people are saying now that she doesn't even qualify for that. Who knows? But that final death payment of the 400, that's paid to one of the survivors. Maybe they give it to his son. That doesn't make any sense. That's meant for funeral. Why would you pay a baby for funeral stuff? I think that's usually for the actual Who knows? Maybe he will.
Yeah, Shinji says I stick with Shakey's and Pizza Hut, which is the only ones available where I live in Bohol. Bisan Kano says it's bad thin doughs, sweet sauce, processed cheese for the most. I make my own pizzas. Game
Yeah,
over. There you
right.
go.
Now that would be the. There are a few good ones for sure.
Shinji says if you can figure out that you'll be rich here. They don't raise cows, or they used to, but again, it's
The cheese is
farming.
here. It's
Yeah,
just
dairy cows are
expensive,
expensive.
and
Yeah, it's like in the U.S. A lot of farmers are getting out of it. They quit a long time ago.
yeah, they're importing and
Yeah, most of the local beef is coming from carabao, not cow. Bisayan ka no. Laura says, I hope you two have a happy new year. Thank you so much, Laura.
thank you so much.
Stay well and enjoy yourself.
Oh, she has to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. From New Zealand, there it is. So yeah, a lot of it's imported. And there
I
it is.
speculate that a dairy farm failed in the Philippines due to price of dairy products.
There is lots of farms still. There is a percentage of farmers here. There's hundreds of farms here. It's just not. They use most of that processed cheese here because of the cost of all it. So I think the ones that are using it like at Landers is just eating the price or buying it in bulk or something. But for me, being they're not doing anything else with the pizzas, it's we end up getting a barbecue pizza at Landers, and they only did the very tip of the pizza. The 3/4 up to the crust was regular red sauce. It was the oddest flavor. It's like the first bite was barbecue or two, and then the other 3/4 of the pizza up to the crust was red sauce. And I'm like, why did they do that? Were they saving on the barbecue sauce versus the red? I
Yeah, it
don't
was
know.
like half red sauce, half. It's like half ragu,
It was
half barbecue.
weird.
Not really. It was weird. It was weird.
I said maybe
They
they were
didn't mix the two. They
they did the three swirls around the top, and then that last corner edge they put the barbecue, and I'm like, what? And they claimed it as a barbecue pizza and barbecue with chicken. I'm like, I give up. It's some of the you just can't fight the system or fight the man here.
Yeah. Shane G says the cheapest steak that I have found from restaurant is Kenny G. Oh, Kenny Rogers. Sorry, Kenny Rogers. But it's
Kenny G.
I know. It's very thin, but not bad, and costs still 595 pesos with two sides. Other places for thick steak costs around 40 US dollars. No, the best burgers we've had, I believe, is still Kenny Rogers. Yes. All right. Rob Sullivan says you will see Rose wearing a black brace, a back brace. I think
Yeah,
that's what it
black.
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in back brace. Rose is
Yes, she
trying to get
does.
David out of his chair in the bathroom.
Yeah, we
She
talked
will
about
always have
that.
a bad back,
Her
and she's
care.
over 40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
40-year-old now.
transfers and does all the. No, geez, that would just be rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Haven't been able to watch your live today. I keep getting calls. Um. Oh, Patrick says Gio should never have left. Jin reminds me of when Brad and Jennifer broke up.
There were other major problems in that relationship. Just like I said, you guys think all those vloggers in Dumageddon have these lives, and really it's not like that. You see the gatherings of the parties, and it's just not one group. There's several groups that intermingle with each other at different points, but it's not all roses. We told you ain't all roses in this house. At least we show some of it, and it seems like Rose does too. And so I don't know how much of that I'd have put on air, but you guys have seen me pop off, so it's hard saying. But I don't know, like I said, some of the super, super personal stuff. It's, yeah.
Dana Jones says Rose has perfect traits for what makes Filipinas nurses so popular here in America. Very hardworking and caring.
Yeah.
Kid
most
Manila
definitely.
says David Campbell betrayed Filipinos. He's at Popeye's chicken joint and he doesn't like Jollibee.
Dang, there's a story. I'm glad you brought that up.
Laura says, Heidi, you're too young to be single. If George won't be around for older females like me, 55, I'll be marrying someone soon.
What's his face?
If it goes through with paperwork.
You asking the question about subscribers is a little odd, but yes, you can clearly see that with channels. Expat Filipinos, it's very evident. Okay,
We've
but
never
it is
done
illegal.
it, just so you guys know.
Correct.
You
It's
can have
highly illegal.
You can have your channel shut down for doing so.
Yes.
And for those of you naysayers, oh, you guys did. No, that's why we're at YouTube, right? That's why we've been at
Google
YouTube,
Manager,
right?
so
And that's why we had a Google Manager for almost 3
they're
years
haters.
now.
Anybody that
right?
says anything
Which
side lately on
actually, I
that are
can
just hating.
honestly say for 3 years now because it's New Year. So yeah, we've had a Google Manager for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 3 years or longer.
And we'll be invited back to the next Google event.
So again, anyway,
no, but it is, and it's illegal. Although the companies are out there selling and doing it, and it's all over Facebook, and the expat channels are buying them, subs and views. I would not be doing it. So eventually it could catch up. So yeah, Gary. And is it inappropriate to flirt with someone online? In what text? I mean, that's kind of
what context? Yeah, it's
are you talking about if somebody is flirting with her online during their live streams? Then to me, it is inappropriate and weird with the husband sitting there, but they're also on YouTube and it's to be expected. I don't know why guys would do that. Are they trying to irritate him or the other husbands? Then you have other husbands that don't care. Some woman made thousands of US dollars in a live stream the other day, and her husband was sitting right there and they were coming on to her. He allowed that part of it. He wasn't even getting upset. So either people will embrace it or they won't. But to send side messages, according to David, they were messaging her, but that's not Rose's issue. If somebody's sending messages to her direct and found her email and messenger, he can't blame her for the incoming messages.
No.
So
our comments.
Right. So yeah.
She's not responsible for that.
I mean, I get also why he would get upset too, and still it cause an issue. That's what they want. That is exactly their plan. Just like that guy coming in, his intention is he doesn't know me. I'm responding. I'm calling him out. It's just an intention to start conversation. And you fall in my trap when I respond to you because you made a comment. So it's a win-win situation. My friend,
Shinji says I ended up paying 25 pesos for Carolers to leave. Yeah, I know, right? John Hobbs says Heidi Geo is the ultimate simp. No idea how guys listen to his cream puff. Shinji says, "Oh my God!" She said her mouth is like Bo Derek. Damn, go Heidi.
It's true. Did I really? Does it really matter at the end of the day? Again, I'll make the reference of the moped and the big girl. You all will take a ride, I'm sure. You just ain't gonna tell your friends you was on that moped. You're gonna tell them that you're riding in the Benz. And at the end of the day, does that Benz cook and make shredded barbecue and biscuits and gravy and cook? The answer is no. Ain't gonna say. So it doesn't matter. I know my value. Know your value, people. Know your place. So.
Oh, damn.
And also, I know George can be replaced really quick here. So I am learning something from Geo's channel.
Shane G says, my advice is to my new neighbor. I told him to take his time. Took him 3 days to have a woman moved in with her children. Obviously, he did not take my advice. That's called a disaster.
No, we're probably going to cover the 2 homeless guys that are going around the circuit here in Angel City. We've talked about one before, but another one actually came up again, and it's the same guy out there. And there were 2 or 3 comments on that, and they said that the guy has been seen in town all cleaned up also. So it's kind of weird. It's like, is he really just doing what they do in the US, but doing it here? Like, getting money from Filipinos and then going home to an apartment. And it's hard saying. But who knows? You just have to I'd like to be able to find him, but we've attempted to go see this guy. George seen him once. and he's supposedly at Dow Gold or something. Well, he's down there at the Pizza Hut and stuff, and people have been helping him and stuff. So I'd like to be able to sit down, but I don't think it's really going to matter. It's the same guy that won't go back to the U.S. They're not going to deport this guy. They're not going to send the embassy. And so, what's with your friends out there? Is it because it's New Year's? What's wrong?
No,
It's $255 for final. Okay, and cremation. Yeah. So then, who gets that lump payment? I know that
that's bare minimum, guys. That price is bare minimum. That's what I was.
it's been like
calculating.
that forever. When my mother
bare
passed
minimum.
away in '99, that's where it was.
You'll be lucky if
I thought it was
that'll
closer to
cover
40.
the funeral and the
George, it
cremation.
doesn't. It's weird that that's the amount they get.
Well, I'm talking about here. That's bare minimum. That's like
That's 15,000 pesos or less. So 12,000.
yeah. That's
So no, it's crazy. No, it won't even pay for that. It didn't in the U.S. I don't even really. It's enough to process some paperwork and the certificates, and you go through some of those things. So, but I don't know who even gets that payment. Does that truly go to her anyways, just because she can provide the certificate? I don't know.
Laura says relationships have all bad and good, just another dealing with it without being butthurt. Respect goes a long way after arguing.
Ronald Country Boy's probably just a regular troll that changes his names. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt if it was one of the vloggers changing their names, and that's okay. He's a little butthurt about something, whoever he is. And is some of that true? Maybe. You know, I'm just being me.
Laura
Dad's
says,
never
Heidi, you're so
satisfied.
funny. But yes, go girl. You go girl. Your
We'll
Your
cover
premium
those
ex-
flowers, right? Right?
your premium inspector. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I mean it. Can you have it done? Probably not. To be honest with you, especially when you guys pass away. I mean, I'm saying you don't. I don't expect you guys to pass away now, which means by the time
I do. I
by
think the guys
time-
here, they're already up and over the hill, and just make your plans now. The end.
Well, either
That's
way,
the case-
255 isn't enough. It's like
That's all I'm spending.
that's
for
bare
you.
minimum. I mean, can you have it done for 255? Yes.
I'm gonna get a coffee can.
Will you?
and
Probably not.
Mm,
We're talking about like bare minimum, like nobody loves you. They just
you know the
no viewing, no flowers, that kind of deal.
the weirdest statement I heard
No, I'm
about
serious.
Mark is they said that he was so cheap and beings already illegally dumped his ashes out there. Somebody said that they believe that they just did it themselves. They did the ashes themselves somehow, some way out there. And I'm like, dang, talk about cold. But it could be the truth. Who knows? In the Philippines, I would never doubt some of that stuff. So think about it.
Well, I mean, like I said, could they have a permit? It's possible, yes. But it's kind of like one of those.
Sorry. It like you said, one trumps over the other. They just said that to cover their butt on air. And
For those of you who aren't
they keep
aware,
wanting to show
there's
people.
something called an LGU. There's a barangay. There's a local government unit.
It doesn't
Can
mean
the
it was
barangay
right. Issue a
give them a
paper
permit?
and
Yes.
tell them to go on and do it.
But it's kind of like the U.S. that federal laws trump state laws, that kind of deal.
Yeah, they did it.
The Philippines have
it was
the
even
blanket
done
law
right.
that they're not really supposed to. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
you're not supposed to. We didn't pay hundreds of dollars to take a boat out to dump my mom's
If
ashes.
they did
in
give you a
Florida,
permit,
or we would have done the same
right.
thing.
If they did give you a permit, you're supposed to drive 3 miles
they just
off,
didn't.
3 miles away, then dump it there. And the
Yeah.
reason why is
And
because
we had to pay
once you
for
hit
all
3
that.
miles, you're within international waters.
We had to pay to do that.
And that's the
So,
standard
I
rule
just don't think they
for.
wanted to pay.
Right. Again, I don't make the rules. I'm just telling you how they are. I mean,
Yeah.
don't
So
get
there's
mad at me.
So
I'm just
yeah,
telling you the
somebody said
rules.
they thought that they did their own or something, because it's true about the incinerators. Yes, they probably have bigger ones over there with all the expats, but in general here they're really small.
Yeah.
So it was like an all around joke. But guys, thank you for joining us, and happy New Year's. It's time to wrap this live stream up. and get this party going. George has got to put out 12 more times before New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
The party
Thank you
platters.
so much, guys. Star Titan says Ventura has burial benefit too. Small amount, but still, it is for his benefit to be buried. There you go. No, it is. It is. And again, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful, merry New Year to everybody. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much for your support.
I like much
concerning
better
Dash,
just saying
thank you
happy
so much.
holidays.
Hey,
Thank you, Lord. Well, the reason being is it covers New Year's and that. And then after you said that, I went to go answer a few comments and I was like, going to say happy holidays. And damn it, George said the Merry Christmas thing over. And I just want to say happy holidays. And I said I'm typing out Merry
go ahead
Christmas.
and say happy holidays. I mean, I get the
Well-
political correctness, but
And let me
Christmas is Christmas. I mean,
and also I
you
want to
don't-
wish
you
people
don't
a
have
happy
to
Kwanzaa. So that's not even a joke.
pretend.
Happy Kwanzaa to people too, because that's only got another day or so, or today and tomorrow. It depends on where you're at.
I mean, it's kind of like some Muslims do have Christmas trees and they say happy holidays. I'm like, just call it Merry Christmas. I get it. It's not your religion, but Muslims don't have Christmas trees. You know, that kind of deal. I'm just giving you an example that, certain.
Actually, some do. I've seen their houses, and so some do.
I know that, but they're not supposed to.
I got that. So happy Kwanzaa to you guys too.
Right. Anyway,
So thanks for
thanks so much, Michael Onstad. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, guys. Ted was with us today. Thank you so much, Victoria. Sarah Tyson, of course. Thank you so much.
Gary and Shane.
Harry Walsh was with us today. Appreciate you so much.
Victoria was in the house. Chosen One.
How you doing,
Sarah.
man? Yeah, Thora. Yes, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Big shout out to all the other vloggers and a happy
Victoria,
New Year.
very happy New Year to all. Rob Sullivan. Thank you so much. Thor Islander. Thanks so much. Love you all, guys. Thanks so much. You guys be safe and enjoy your New Year. Pop that champagne. Eat that roast beef.
I don't, it just makes me cringe when you say that because one, it's disgusting, and two, I know you've never done it in your entire life. And if not, you're the total opposite, and you are a roast beef eater, which makes you even more disgusting in my page. So either way, happy disgusting New Year's.
How do you think I earned the Red Wings king?
Okay, you're in for it. Thanks.
All right, bye.
So now I'm gonna emasculate you. Bye, guys. Bye.